Welcome to another episode. It's been some time of 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons Tomb of Annihilation. And Kashcah, do you want to share it with the group? Straight
Oh,
off?
yeah. Let me do that. Sorry,
Because
I'm
everybody
like,
on
what are you
screen's
talking
already
about?
seeing what's going on here.
Sorry. Here we go. I'll move you guys over.
I didn't know that you'd be able to do that too. Cool. Let me zoom out a little bit here. So, Kashcah, you want to say what happened here and what's going on with this?
So this is a little bit of fantastic art by the very talented Dragons Ate My Breakfast, or BlueHairedDragonKeeper. Yeah, and here's the group somewhere in the jungle. Yeah.
That is so awesome.
I love that. Like a little bitty Ulfgar.
I like the fact that there's like 4 bottles of Tesh in my pocket.
Yep. There might have been like a little background check going on with little baby Flippy over there.
Oh my god, is that a fish? Oh, it's a fish sticking out of my pouch.
It is, yeah.
I especially like the detail down in the bottom right corner there. There's a little missing poster for like what was it, like episode 1 or 2?
Yeah.
When Hellfire's character went missing. Just poofed.
Yeah.
That is great. Wow.
Wow, thanks for doing that. That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dragons Ate My Breakfast.
Yeah.
So good. It's really good. And it was super fun working with you on it.
So
Wow.
Yeah. So I will likely be changing up the look of the overlay based upon this artwork for next time. But yeah, really cool. Really cool. Well done. Excuse me. So, with that in mind, for those that don't know, these are our characters.
Yeah!
Drawn by Dragons Ate My Breakfast, who's a person that frequents our Discord. So, let's see. Let's do introductions. We'll start with Kashcah.
Hi. I'm DM.
She's not
It's
here in
me.
the picture, which I feel you should have mentioned that.
Oh, maybe some kind of dark looming skull in the background.
Maybe. And then if we move around counterclockwise, we've got Flippy, who is the little NPC bird that just kind of follows us around, little axe beak, as you see in the image below here. And then next to Flippy, we've got Nerevar.
Yeah, that's me. And I'm playing as Tobias Salazar, who is a Spacial sorcerer, and he's commanding his idol Arokh Ironscale.
Mm-hmm. Which is these two characters that I'm highlighting over here for those that are watching on my screen.
Yeah, and Tobias is missing a goatee, so...
Mm.
And then if you continue heading left from Nerevar, we have Kellisto, who is here.
Hi, I'm Callisto of the Bear God clan. And as you can tell by my pouch, I'm a bit of a lush.
A bit of a lush, yeah. Let's do a bit of a
I
zoom.
like you've got the bear claws as well, like on your shoulder.
I know, that's awesome.
Pretty good.
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to share this with the person who drew my original photo.
Mm-hmm.
And then next to her, we have Lyssa.
I am playing Valia Bonesmasher. I am your friendly Lizardfolk Barbarian. Friendly as in I eat everything. Friend or foe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Doesn't even need to be charmed to do it.
No?
And if you look right here, in her hands, claws, whatever, is actually a map of what we've unveiled at the time, which is totally awesome. And then who is no longer playing with us here is Rorax's Centaur, Aelia, who is now an NPC in the party, which looks fabulous. I especially love the detail work on the hooves down there, the little speckly bits and the little tattoos and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool. Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
need to send this to Rorax, actually. See
It
if,
looks very mystical.
yeah.
Who plays a cleric fighter, more or less. And then
Definitely giving me the side glance as usual.
yep, more or less.
I love the sideways eyes to from Kellisto to Ulfgar as well. Like,
Yep.
you're talking again.
And speaking of, we've got myself. I'm Vallen. I will be playing Ulfgar Holderheck, who's this dwarven bard sorcerer down here, who is known for blowing his own horn quite regularly and toot toot magic flute.
There it is, the horn.
He's quite obviously talking in this photo.
Maybe he's singing. Maybe he ate some banana fruit. I don't know. Some of the dancing monkey fruit. Oh, so that was quite good. Thank you for sharing that with the party there, Kashcah. Shall I do the recap then of where we kind of left off last time?
Sure.
All right. So when last we played, which was a while ago, schedules, and going into a brand new area can make things awkward. But we ended up popping in to try and fight Raznasi, trying to sneak into Raznasi's bedchamber. Turned out the teleportation circle did not go directly there. It went right out in front into an area where there was a whole bunch of dudes just kind of hanging around, doing their thing in a snake base. And yeah, but we didn't really have too much of a problem with them. It was when Raznasi showed up and fireballed the party that we had a problem. Because he pretty much shut everybody down, almost killed everyone. Yeah. And Aelia tried sacrificing herself to kill Raznasi, which did not go as planned, though she did really good. She hurt him really hard. But she ended up being enchanted. I wrote in here ensorcelled, but she was enchanted by him to keep her under control. The rest of the party pretty much was on the edge of dying or was dying. Ulfgar surrendered for the group, and everybody seemed to at least stop attacking for the most part. And then it was determined that Raznasi didn't want us dead per se, just wanted our services. We weren't too keen on it because we were pretty much ready to kill this bloodthirsty scavenger of a person who's running all these murderous bastards underground. But as we didn't really have much choice at that point, because it was either say yes, we'll do your task, which was actually the task we were sent to do in the first place, or he just pretty much fireballs us again and we all die. We opted for the let's take the quest, get rid of that little exclamation mark icon over his head. So we did so, much to Aelia, the Centaur's disagreement. But the enchantment that he put upon her apparently has held her to a duty, and that is her main concern. And if she strays from it, she may end up getting hurt or killed, or hurt severely or killed upon not going along with the plan. So therefore, that is also a priority of the parties to potentially try to find a way of removing that, or, well, who knows what. But we found that Raznasi was at least reasonable in giving us a night to rest and recuperate before meeting us at the entrance of the what was it? The Tomb of the Nine Gods, which wasn't too far. So we rested up just outside the gate of the Yuan-Ti base and traveled our way there. And waiting for us was Raznasi and his entourage. And that, I believe, is where we left off. Did I miss anything, Kashcah?
Nope.
I'm still currently on the picture, if that makes any difference, but I don't
I mean, that's okay. Because
I'm alright with that.
I'm actually, let me just check, make sure I've got everything set up. And then I'll move you guys over to a new map. Ta-da!
I see black screen. Do I need to scroll out?
Maybe. I don't know how
Oh,
far
we're on
you
the bottom.
zoomed in.
Okay, we're all the way at the bottom. That's
Yeah,
a very
bottom,
big...
like center, bottom.
Yeah, let me zoom in a bit more here. I tried dark mode with this, by the way, and dark mode sadly changes everything on character sheets and pop-ups like that. So, but the text doesn't get changed on the pop-ups. So sadly, dark mode doesn't work. So everybody's gonna have to deal with a bunch of white until we get further into the map.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. We're doing stuff and things. And if I remember right, Arokh has not been summoned back yet. Is that correct, Tobias?
Yeah, Arokh was stayed in Yuanti's lair.
Okay, all right.
He was hidden, and he actually was supposed to do espionage, and I kind of forgot to ask you about this in this week.
Yeah.
I forgot too.
Okay. We might have to revisit that a different time. Okay, so he might pop back to you at some point. But so as you approach the area that that was marked on your map, you see cliffs rising, around the edge of this crater that Omu has been kind of built in, and you see ahead of you Raznasi, and he's got a little kind of entourage. Is standing fairly close to the base of these cliffs. He's also standing close to a 15-foot tall obelisk of cracked stone that is draped in vines and black moss. And yeah, that's the one right there. Behind it, you see a dark passageway that's obscured by withered creepers. Yep, there, over there. And then to the east is a second smaller passageway that kind of heads into the base of the cliff there. So on the floor, kind of on the ground, next to Raznasi, is a small chest. Just a little wooden, nondescript kind of chest. Nothing particularly exciting.
So when we open it, we don't hear the...
Your face doesn't start melting. No, none of those things.
Okay, I'll take that.
So he kind of waits for you to approach, and I haven't put you in any kind of order here. I think Aelia will probably be towards the back, but however you want to arrange yourselves.
I did neglect to mention for the recap that the motive for Raznasi to employ us to go in and try and solve this puzzle of what's the darn thing called? Oh my god. The artifact, the Soulmonger, was because Raznasi himself was also being affected by the curse and wanted it lifted and the Soulmonger destroyed, which directly conflicts with what Ulfgar had originally agreed to with Valindra. So there's a little conflict of interest on multiple levels. Anyway.
Right.
Ulfgar walks up.
Oh yeah? You're just going to be like, hey, what's up, dude? High five.
Hey, what's up, dude? High five. But I stab him in the eye. That's a joke.
Make a perception check.
Perception?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I can do one of those. Let's see. At least I think I can.
Oh, the other thing, sorry, I forgot to mention. These grey blobs here are gargoyle statues. kind of looking down on this area here.
Yay. There you go.
Okay.
I can do a check. Nothing guaranteeing I can pass it.
Okay. All right. So you see, the entourage there. The chest looks like a normal kind of wooden. It's got metal banding on it. Looks like it's hinged at the back. Pretty boring.
Well, guess I'm going in by myself then.
I'm right behind you.
Just stand there and wave.
He says everything you need is in this chest.
He steps up and opens the chest, assuming it's not locked.
He says, remember our deal. He says, the only reason that you're alive is because you have sworn an oath never to bother our temple again. He says,
I will not bother your temple.
Did we get anything good?
So you
Do we get the mob boss compass so we can find?
he says so Resnessy says and you see kind of as you guys are kind of moving around, these two purebloods at the back kind of move off to the side as well. Actually this one will probably be a bit further. So they're kind of moving around. Aelia will move up a bit. She'll stay back here.
Is his other second in command in here?
She is not, no.
Mm-hmm. She was eaten by a certain dragon-like being that was left in the base.
The chomp.
He did have an evil-looking little grin on his face.
Actually, Kellisto, make a perception check as well. Something weird looking about Rasnessy and these guys behind him.
Okay. Can I investigate further to figure out why they look weird to me?
Yeah, as you kind of... So if you stare at them a bit longer, you don't think he's actually there.
And I pull something... I pull a bottle from my bag. Or I pull something from my bag. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think. I don't want to get rid of the Tesh.
Coin.
There may be an empty bottle in there.
Oh, yeah?
Throw it in.
Okay. So you throw it at him. So as you kind of raise your arm to chuck the bottle at him, all of the Malisons behind him draw their weapons and kind of like lean like they're gonna strike. And you chuck the bottle and make a dexterity check. It's probably the easiest way to get. I mean, he's right there.
What is dexterity? I only see the... Is it called something else?
No, it's one of the big scores on the left side.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry. Okay, yeah. So you managed to chuck it, and it passes right through him. So Ulfgar, you see, over your shoulder, this bottle comes sailing by, and you're like, "Oh God!" because you swear it's gonna hit him right square, in the face, and nope, it just passes straight through him. And he looks at you, Ulfgar, and says, "I will remember your oath." And then he and except I can't select them all at once. He and all of the Malisons, including this one, sorry, difficult to select them all at once, disappear.
But the two purebloods remain.
The two purebloods remain, and they kind of look at each other, look at you guys, and start running, basically.
You better run.
So they're just kind of like running off the map as fast as their little Yuan-Ti legs will carry them.
So here's what I have to say. Ulfgar would, if he saw the glass bottle go towards him, Ulfgar would probably be like, just like, that's interesting. Wonder where that came from type response. Then after that happened, then they all poof, looking over at the other two. They start running. He just kind of looks down into the chest.
All right.
Looks like Rasnasi isn't safe. Is not feeling safe. Is in his own city after all.
I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to be near this, or he gets a lot worse.
I'd just like to point out that only you, Ulfgar, said that you wouldn't do anything.
Ulfgar just smiles. Again, into the chest.
Okay. All right, is anybody doing anything about the two Yuan-Ti running away? Or are you guys letting them?
Yeah, I just ignore them.
Yeah, I would like to investigate the chest to see if it's trapped.
Well, Ulfgar, were you already opening it?
Yeah,
So-
he had like just walked up to the chest after hearing, this is everything that you'll need is in here. He would open the chest. Just
Yeah, and that's kind of when the bottle sailed over your shoulder. So you'd flip the lid back of the chest, and now that the drama is over, I'm just going to move these two off the map.
I can see now Callisto turns into a llama, just so she could be a drama llama. Pooh.
Inside the chest
Sorry.
are the three missing puzzle cubes.
Ah. Well, look at that. That's convenient. Ulfgar takes him out and puts him in his backpack.
Okay, so Aelia has a bunch, and Ulfgar has 3.
Yes. Can you tell me which ones specifically?
I can give me
Does
one.
it make a difference right now?
Give me 1 second.
You can always tell me later if it does make a difference.
It's alright. I don't mind. I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Alright, so you have where is it? One that looks like, hang on, let me zoom in here. One that looks like a flail snail.
Okay.
You have one that looks like a monkey. And one that looks like a rabbit with really long ears.
Okay. There we go. I have added that to the quest log.
Okay. Alright, so there you go. Yeah.
So, Ulfgar looks up at the gargoyles and says, "Who wants to put money on the fact that those are real and not stone?"
I like to keep my money, thank you.
He like does a double take at you after hearing you say that, and is like, "Wait, you do what? Okay." And Ulfgar draws both of his weapons and says, "I think we should be on our guard and take things one step at a time as we enter. First, perhaps we inspect this item, but we keep a close eye on the and he gestures towards the obelisk. But we keep a close eye on our current company," and he points up to the gargoyles with his other weapon.
As Ulfgar says, I'd like to take it one step at a time. I just kind of look at Valia, waiting for her to run forward.
I just sigh. I'm like, you want me to go first or her last?
Ulfgar starts approaching the obelisk. He says, "I think we should go slowly. If Rasnasi, regardless of his weakness to this place, is a bit afraid of here, I think we should be as well." And
I think he's just weak. I just kind of giggle.
so Ulfgar starts inspecting the obelisk without laying hands on it or anything. He says, I'd like to cast a detect magic spell upon this, but I don't know if you're all willing to wait the 10 minutes for me to do so. He just kind of looks around the group.
Yeah, we have plenty of time.
That's what I thought.
I don't think any of us are in a hurry to get in there right away.
He'll inspect it and start casting the ritual.
Okay. All right. So while he's doing that, so it takes you 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, let me tell you what you see first, right? It's just covered, right, in vines and moss. You can barely tell that it's stone underneath. There are some bits that are clear, and you see like some cracks in those bits, but it is quite heavily covered in vegetation and mossiness. So, without touching it, it's going to be quite difficult to see. You don't have to touch it.
First inspection.
Yeah, okay. So that's what you see.
Okay. So then from that, he would then probably use Prestidigitation as well as his Mage Hand to clear away vines and things like that to see what he could decipher about this thing. I don't think he really wants to lay his own hands on this.
Okay. All right, so you're doing that stuff before you go ritual detect magic? Or?
No, he'd probably do the ritual detect magic first, if only because he wants to figure out if this thing has traps or something like that on it. So
Ulfgar goes into his trance, starts casting. Is there anything everybody else would like to do while he's casting on this? You got 10 minutes worth of snooping around.
3 gargoyles just sitting up there, breathing heavily.
I want to walk over here and just see if I can see down that hallway or.
Yeah. Okay. So you can
without going in.
You can see down the hallway. You see. Like that. So let me describe it to you a little bit. So there are alcoves. You can kind of see like down there, and the alcoves carved into the side. 4 sets of 1 either side, and you can kind of see like the bottom of like a pedestal or something peeking out from within the alcove.
So tempting. I shout back, "Hey, Valia!"
Your default setting. This means I don't get in trouble.
Come look at this stuff. Do we want to go down there?
I'll look back. I'll see if Ulfgar's still busy.
Yep. And he's like kind of like waggling his eyebrows naughtily at you, like.
I'll take a step forward and like look and like kind of check the doorway, like I'm trying to check for traps, but even though I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Okay. Give me an investigation check. And I see you do it here. I'll show you what you see up here.
Nope.
Tobias.
I'm like, there's stuff down there. We should go.
Did you get a negative?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's how good my investigation is. I'm the next Sherlock Holmes.
She's got
you don't find any traps.
His long lost cousin
0
that
traps.
he didn't know about.
We found Valia's dump stat.
Oh, dear lord.
Well, maybe if we just take 1 step at a time, we can. Crap.
I
love
look at
this
you and I'm like, do you remember the arrow?
It's gonna be an alligator, man.
Yeah.
It's alright, but I'm not carrying you this time. You're pretty heavy.
Oh, the arrows were hurtful.
Alright. I will take 1 step in.
Sproing, crack, bam.
Seems fine.
Every step she takes, I'm like 1 step behind.
Oh god.
All right. So while you guys are doing that, Tobias, hang on, I'll come back to you in one sec. So Tobias, you see a short tunnel ends at a slab of worked stone. You can see there's definitely some carvings in the stone. Looks like around the edge there's grinning skulls carved into it, and then there's some kind of like star configuration, or some kind of star some kind of star carved into the stone slab.
Is that constellation or something else?
No, it's like an 8-pointed star. If that makes sense. Hopefully.
I'll take a cautious step towards it.
Okay, I love this plan. You're going that way. He's going the other way.
We split the party before we even entered the place. What the? Well, I can tell you what Ulfgar's kind of thinking subconsciously right now. Why do I even bother asking? Why?
Hey, you guys can wait, right? We can wait for you to start the ritual and then we're off.
Take it slow, one step at a time,
okay.
3 steps at a time.
All right. So yeah, Valia and Kellisto. So far, nothing going on down this hallway. Seems fine.
Okay, I will take another step in, and I'll yell at Flippy. Flippy, in case something happens, stand by the door, and if you hear me yell, go get somebody.
Go get somebody. Aelia is actually kind of like, standing over here as well.
Just like Ulfgar, hurry.
Okay. Yep, still nothing. Another step. Nothing has happened. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll take over for her then.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
I'll be like, hey,
You start pushing her.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Oh, this is an even better idea.
Okay.
Can I do an investigative check?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have a -2? No, you have a +2 and a good roll.
So you don't find any traps in this area at all. Like in this, I mean, I would say like up to like here, right? You can kind of see and poke around a bit, and you don't find any traps in those squares.
Then I will move.
Okay. Let me
Assume that Valia is behind me.
Yeah, here, I'll move her in a sec. So you see, there are 2 statues.
Do they have bows?
They do not have bows. So it depicts a Jakuli. Which hang on, I gotta remember which one.
Sure, I could find it. You keep going.
Okay, thank you. And the other one depicts one of those evil-looking monkeys.
Jakuli is one of those like horned snakes.
Oh yeah, yep. So
I can't remember.
evil-looking monkey, snaky thing, and under them is kind of like carved into. So these are statues of them, right? And under the statue, carved into kind of the base of the statue, sitting on top of the pedestal, is this bowl of is a basin of oil. It's like kind of looks like a kind of traditional
Sioux
bronze
monster.
basin. Yeah, Sioux monster. Sioux monster.
I
and
lean
Jakuli.
over and sniff.
It smells like it smells kind of like
Constitution check.
nothing. You don't smell like anything particularly. It looks like oil.
Chuck.
It smells kind of like almost like lamp oil. Is what it smells like.
Interesting.
Okay.
I will move forward.
Okay. So let me go back to Tobias for a moment. So Tobias, you see, sure enough, yeah, in this big stone slab at the end of this little corridor is an 8-pointed star. And at the end of each point, what you can see now that you're a bit closer is a small square indentation. And there are around the edge, it's just all carved with grinning skulls. So there are these little 8 cavities at the points of each star.
No carvings that I would recognize or understand.
There's no like words carved on it at all. It's just the star with the cavities and the skulls. That's it. Okay, let me... Sure enough, Kellisto. 2 more statues. And these 2 are of... that long-eared rabbit.
What's it called?
The Mirage.
Okay.
And a Zorbo.
That's the Nerevar, right?
Yeah. The Nerevar.
Mirage is on top?
Not there. So like Mirage on top. So Mirage here. Zorbo here. Nerevar.
And move forward.
Okay.
They all have oil.
Yeah, they also have a basin of oil. Yeah. Yep, smells like lamp oil again.
Next.
Next is who's next? Ibli
Gesundheit.
and a froghemoth.
Ibli are like the crane-like birds?
Yeah. So craney bird up at the top, froghemoth down at the bottom.
Okay. And froghemoth. All right. You see what I'm doing, right?
Yep.
Hooky.
The last ones. There. And I'm terrible at this. Last ones are a grung and a kamadan. And I think the kamadan weren't those the big cat with the snakes?
Is it Commodon with a C or a K?
With a K.
Commodon. All right. Cat and toad. There we go. Okay.
Well, I know she can't actually answer me right now, but I would have turned around. Maybe you can answer for her, and said, "Do you think something would happen if we lit all the lamps?"
She'd say, "Yeah, Ulfgar would be pretty pissed."
Yeah, that sounds right. All right, Tobias, over to you. What are you up to with this stone carved?
I'm going to shout to the ogre. I think I have found the door, and where we can use the cubes.
Okay. So, yeah, Kellisto, you hear Tobias shouting that he's found the door for the cubes.
Okay. Well, I'll go back because I figure by now maybe Ulfgar's done. And so I say, "Come on, let's see if he's done yet."
It's been 30 seconds.
I'll think like it's been 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No,
No
No,
worries.
no problem.
Are the kittens okay? This is like...
Yeah, it was a big dog chasing a little bitty teeny tiny dog, and that ran into the yard, and in turn the cats were like, ah!
Oh god. Okay.
I don't know what's going on with that little dog. It's hurt or something, but the animal control's supposed to come get him.
Oh.
Okay.
Was the big dog attacking the little dog?
think it was trying to play with it, not attack it. Because when I went out there, the big dog came up to me. It wasn't aggressive, and then I heard somebody yelling down the street, and it took off. So
Mhm.
the little dog looks like it's matted. It's a little Scotty. It looks like it's a little Scotty Terrier, and it's really matted. So and it's panting. So I gave it some water, and it's eating cat food on the porch with the cats now. So
Aw. Maybe you have a new dog.
no. Oh, I have lots of cats and no dogs. No dogs.
But it's a cat. It's hanging out with your cat.
Yeah, it's about as big as the cats. Did I get us into any trouble?
No, I wanted to, but you said that Ulfgar would probably get mad.
Okay. So where am
I wanted to
I made it down the hall. Okay.
Yeah. There's statues, and there's like lamp oil at each statue, and I wanted to light them. And you said probably not a good idea. Well,
Okay.
Somebody said that for you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slink back out of the hallway down to the entrance and be like, softly confined space to try to light lamps and then get like choked to death or kicked or licked or eaten or whatever's gonna happen with these. I said, there's a grung. Is that a froghemoth? Isn't that the thing that ate Ulfgar?
Oh yeah.
Coolly? Oh yeah. Nope. No.
And you did hear as well, Valia, Tobias called out that he thinks he's found the door that uses the cubes.
Okay.
And Ulfgar, you finished casting. Finish your ritual casting.
Yay.
So the obelisk is definitely magical and gives off the school is abjuration.
Abjuration. Okay. Schools. Abjuration. Let's uncheck everything so I can get an idea of what that might be. Apply. Okay. Interesting. Ulfgar says, it's a protective magic that's enchanting this item. Excuse me. That's a bit concerning, but I would presume, and he looks over at Tobias and says, it might be linked to your door with the cubes.
Some sort of safeguard?
Says, well, before we proceed, though, let me scan your door, Tobias, and then I can move on towards that hallway they were wandering down. He walks over to the door and scans the door as well to see if it's...
I would like to check the obelisk.
Okay. Yeah, you see it is... wait, are you doing like a visual check or what kind of check? Detect magic?
He has not cleaned it
Arcana,
off yet.
Maybe Arcana check? To discover what's triggered it.
Okay, give me an Arcana check. Kind of looking for spell triggers. Negative.
The obelisk is still a mystery.
It's a big red button that in some language you can't understand says nuclear launch. And you
It's just under the
feel this
vines. Nobody's moved the vines. There's a big red open the door button. And nobody's
press the button.
It's just a doorbell.
It's just a doormat that says
pizza delivery. One pizza for an Sarek.
yeah.
So
it's written angry dog.
So I scan the door, but on the way to the door, I swing my field of view towards the gargoyle just to see if that shows up as glowy too.
I don't think that would.
Okay.
The door. Let me look at the door. Hang on. See if the door. Yeah, I would say there is some magic on that door. Don't ask me what school.
What's good? I'm assuming it's going to be abjuration, so he proceeds to then continue on with his scan and aim it down the hallway. It's got a 30-foot range, so I guess I'll walk a little bit further and just kind of scan to see if these all, if any of these glow.
Yeah, there is some magic about those as well.
I sneak up behind him. I'm like, "What did you find?" Like really loud.
Everything that we found so far seems to be enchanted with some kind of protection magic. So,
I can look.
what'd you find?
Yeah, well, there's these little, lantern things in front of each statue, which are these gods, I guess you could say, and should we light them?
What did the main door look like again? I know it had a puzzle cube placement on it, but
So the door that Tobias is at has a carving around it. And on it. So in the middle of this stone slab is an 8-pointed star, and at the point of each star is a little square indentation. And then around the edge of the whole slab are grinning skulls.
do the indentations look like they would be the same size as the puzzle cubes?
Yes.
Okay. So Ulfgar comes back out here and says, I don't know that we should light those up yet. Let's see if there's any inscriptions on this thing telling us a bit of its protections and warnings, perhaps. One would think this might be some kind of warning sign. And he starts using prestidigitation and Mage Hand to now clean it off.
Okay. So you clear away the vines and the moss, and you find underneath on this south-facing edge of the statue is a message written in common.
Wait, common?
In common.
It's gotta be a warning. There are these ancient runes written here. Oh no, that's just sloppy handwriting. It's written in common.
Right, here I'm going to show you this.
It reads, "Fear the night when the Forsaken One seizes Death's mantle, and the seas dry up, and the dead rise, and..." Hold on a second, I can make this bigger. Click on this. "And I, Asererak, the Eternal, reap the world of the living. Those who dare enter take heed. The enemies oppose, one stands between them. In darkness it hides. Don the mask or be seen. Speak no truth to the doomed child. The keys turn on the inside only." Who the heck writes this kind of crap? I'm sure it'll be important at some point, so he starts writing it down. He's in a bit of a huff, though. So it's definitely a warning. More or less says you come inside, you've got to... It's going to be more traps, people. More traps. Aye. Why does it have to be traps? I'm no dungeon delver, I'm a frickin' diplomat. What have I thought of doing here? He's just like writing.
It kind of was your idea. You said that out loud, right?
I think he would have been mumbling it fairly loud enough. He'd look up at you and he'd say, well, I thought we'd be going into some kind of like crypt and smashing somebody's pottery. I didn't expect it'd be this kind of jargon.
You're not Link.
Find a few rupees in the process. Instead, we're trying to save the whole frickin' landscape. What the heck? Yeah, he's getting all like grumpy again.
Nah, aren't we just trying to save dead people?
Yeah, re-dead? Undead? They're not really undead. Nah, let me just finish writing this down. He finishes writing it down. Right. So, did you share that with everybody, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you guys doing?
It was fair the night when the Forsaken One seizes Death's mantle and the seas dry up and the dead rise. Well, apparently the dead rose. I don't remember the seas rising up, or drying up. Wait, were there any dried up areas of water across the lands? I don't remember.
think so.
That's
We're in
right.
a jungle where it rains a lot, so probably
Water everywhere.
Well, what about the big plains? Oh no, that was a volcano. So dare enter, take heed. The enemies oppose. Well, that makes sense. There are enemies inside that will oppose us. One stands between them. Well, I guess that. Wait, what? Between who? Who's them? In darkness it hides. Well, obviously, there's no lights on inside. So, don the mask or be seen. Who's got a mask? Ulfgar doesn't. It just kind of like looks around and sees nobody has any masks. Or wait, does Valia have a mask? I thought she had a mask.
I do. It's on my head, but it's not. It's a. Oh, I forgot what kind of mask it was.
Okay.
It's from the goblins or something like that.
It says you're going to want to make sure to don that or you're going to be seen. Speak no truth to the doomed child. Well then.
I just hold my hand up. Don't talk to me.
Yep, you're the child. The key's turned on the inside only. Wait a minute. So I thought, Tobias, I thought you found the door and it's got a keyhole on the outside.
Hang on. Tobias is...
He's reading his scroll right now. Don't bother him. I just started.
I'll find out what she's doing. I'll be right back.
Can I go? I guess I'm gonna go back down the hall and see if I can get a good look at these statues again one more time. There's like no eye holes or any weird hole opening or.
Nope. Here, let me double check. Yep, so each one features a statue standing or squatting above a basin of oil. Yeah, but there's no like weirdness.
I'm gonna take my torch out and light it. And I'm going to light this one first. Do I have enough room to reach around the corner to do it?
Yeah, you could kind of like stand and like, well, actually, you kind of have to like bend down a little, but yeah,
Right.
You could kind of reach behind like and light it.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So the oil takes flame for just a moment, and then the flames kind of flicker a little, and then they slowly burn low, and then just go out.
That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna walk back out. Do any of y'all have like magic fire?
I can make things light up.
Well,
I can shoot fire from my hand, but it's not like I don't like light things up. It's like I shoot a little miniature fireball. Not like the one that we got hit with earlier, but you know.
Oh yeah, no, you're not that powerful. I lit a torch, and I tried to light the oil, and it took fire. It took the fire, but then it just kind of slowly faded out. So it didn't actually stay lit.
Hmm.
So you said it's magical. All this area is a little magical, so maybe some kind of weird magic fire might light it. Whatever y'all weird magic.
Right. Okay.
Your weird magic-y fires.
Are you saying you want me to shoot the thing with a fire?
I'm gonna try.
All right. Why not? He'll walk over here and he'll.
Okay. As soon as you enter the hallway,
Mhm.
one sec. Let me look at the notes. Crap. You know what helps is if I have like the notes of which one's which. There, I'm gonna use this. Right. This lamp, the bowl of oil lights on fire, and
Wait, just me walking in there, it lights up?
yep. Hang on. And the other one is,
I'm gonna be right behind him as he's walking down the hall.
and that one. Those two light on fire.
As I walk down there.
As you didn't even get that far. You were like here, and it lit on fire.
Ulfgar just kind of goes, "What the heck?"
I
What?
look over your shoulder. I'm like, it wasn't like that when I left. I swear.
It didn't do that when I was checking it out with magic either.
Yeah, I lit this one here, and it flickered, and then it was lit, and then it just fizzled out. It just went away. So I came to get you, and that I don't.
He takes a few more steps.
Try this one.
I didn't do anything. I just walked up.
I wonder if you have to light them in a specific order. So those two are lit, maybe?
And he
Oh,
Try lighting one of the other one?
it was divination magic, by the way, in this area.
Okay. So does anything happen when he walks into the center of all of them?
Nope. Actually, I need to amend that. The area around the statues is divination. The oil basin is conjuration.
Oh.
Sorry.
So then he'd say, my magic fire isn't going to light these up. It's looking for some kind of sequence of things to do so.
So like I said, we may have to light them in order, yes?
And
I just nod my head at you.
he looks into his bag and goes, because he only just saw these recently. Otherwise, he probably would not have remembered. But he says, that's weird. And he holds up the puzzle cubes that he's got. He says, and he walks along each of these, looking at them. And he goes, there's one missing. There's no snail. And he says, and the two that I've got are here. And he points at the ones that are lit up.
Okay, I'm gonna run back out. And who has the Aelia, right? Has the other cubes which we were giving him. I tell Aelia, I was like, hey, can I see those cubes real quick, please?
Yep, she'll take them out of her pack and...
She kind of has to comply.
Poor
Aelia. Okay, so I'll take them and I'll carry them in my arms as fast as I can. I'm like, Kellisto, come look!
Yep, and as soon as you step there, all of the other basins of oil light up.
I look back, I'm like, I'm
Sorry,
magic.
Jacob.
And I just grin.
I look at her with my eyes wide.
I'm a magic lizard. You didn't know that, did you?
And then I realize she's playing with me. And
Ulfgar says, you're as magic as I am fond of water. Now come on. He says, Tobias, come down here. Here, take this. And he He walked. Oh shoot! Can I move for it?
He's
There we
like
go.
squeezing past me and
Yeah.
Callisto. I'm like making sure my arms are out, like taking up the hallway. I'm like,
He hands him the snail puzzle cube and says, "Take this over to the door and see if you can figure it out." Because we everything here is lit up with these puzzle cubes, but I think if we leave the area, and he says, "Wait a second, what am I doing? Here, Valia, take these," and he just kind of dumps the other 3 on Valia.
I'm like holding all these cubes in my arms. I'm like, do you think we should put them in the oil?
No, just hold on to him for a moment. And Ulfgar says, "Here, Tobias, take this and see if you can figure out how to fit this in the door or something. Maybe this is the opening."
So
I
wait,
lean over to Callisto. I said, when they leave, we're gonna put one in the oil and see what happens.
I turn around and watch them and kind of like make myself as big as possible so they can't.
We're like the bad children of the party.
I know that this is like something about the codes to the nuclear launch site. I swear to God. We're messing with it right now.
so hang on. So
Just,
let me get
just
this.
like animalistic childs.
So you're giving the snail one to Tobias, Ulfgar?
I am.
Okay. All right.
And then he's following Tobias.
Okay.
Tobias, you now have the snail puzzle cube pressed into your hand.
And Valia has the rest of them, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I turn to Valley and say, "I bet you have to dunk the ball in the oil first. I think they're doing it the wrong."
I hand her the one that looks like the Sioux monster. I was like, here, grab this one and put it.
You go first. It is on fire, by the way. The oil is on fire.
Just kind
But
of chunk it in.
it's stone, right? So
Yeah.
I'll just like throw it in there and see what happens.
And when you put something in grease and you don't want to burn yourself, you just kind of chunk it in.
Yep. Yeah, so
And then I look at her and I'm like, "How are we gonna get it back out?"
I have a spear. Fish. We'll just scoop it back out of there.
They're going to set off the trap that kills both Tobias and I, aren't they?
so you kind of like toss the give it a light kind of toss into the basin, and nothing
Yep.
happens.
Just pops it around, or actually just sits.
Yeah, I hear this sploop, of the stone like glooping into the oil. And for a minute, the fire kind of like does a little whooshy, thing as the oil like ripples outwards. But
I look at her and I'm like, "Oh, that was kind of disappointing."
Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, here. I turn around, get my javelin, and we'll fish it out.
okay. All right. Over to the other two. What are you guys doing with the snail one?
I'm going to look if there's something changed with the door.
Nope.
Ulfgar's got both of his weapons out again. And he's like watching the gargoyles, eyeing them suspiciously.
Mm-hmm. Nope, nothing changed with the door. Just how you left it.
Ulfgar's like, "Go on. Do your thing with the snail."
Do your thing with this.
I'm just sending a look of disbelief towards Ulfgar, and what am I supposed to do with this?
He says, "I don't know. Do I look like some kind of puzzle master? I got lucky with getting those things to activate. I don't know how. I just walked down there and they lit up. So I don't know. I thought you'd walk close to the door and it'd open up or something. Is it a key? Do you like turn it like a key or something? Or is it maybe a handle? Is there a pedestal?" I didn't look at the door very well. And he's like kind of like glancing over his shoulder a little bit at it now.
Yeah, me either.
Well, there you go. There, just put it in the middle.
Okay, then here it goes. I'm putting the cube in the middle.
There isn't a slot in the middle. There's 8, right? It's an 8-pointed star, and there's little squares at each of the points.
Oh,
So there's nothing like in the middle. The middle is actually bare.
okay. Ulfgar says, well then, if there's no spot for this one, then this is the one that we save for later, and we now know that the other ones work to open this door. Aye? Right? Valia, get your hands out the fire and bring those cubes over here.
So you're fishing around with your javelin. You kind of can scoot, like the basin is like, you know, has a curved edge to it, so you can kind of use your javelin to scoot the cube like up and out the side of the basin, and it kind of lands on the ground all oily, and then all the dirt sticks to it and dead leaves. And
I just look at Kellisto. I'm like, you can slap my spear on my back, but you got to pick that up. My hands are kind of full.
I look at her and I'm like, oh. I'll put it around in my bag and see if I have any kind of cloth. I like don't want to touch it.
You find 5 more empty bottles.
do you have like a healer's kit or anything like that? That would.
I don't.
I just say,
I haven't
look, I shake my hip at you. I was like, there's a piece of blank parchment in there. Just use that.
Okay, I go into her pack and get that and use it as like I put it on my hand and kind of like go down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, hey, actually, no. Yeah, that's what. So it's still on my hand, but.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. The parchment kind of does that thing. It starts absorbing the oil, you know. And so,
I'm kind of holding it out.
I'm like, let's
I'm
go.
looking at her.
Ulfgar's yelling.
Like, this was not a good idea.
We had to try.
okay. So yeah, you can. You've got the cube now.
Yep, walk to Ulfgar and I hold it out to him like, here you go.
Dad's yelling for us.
He says, not me, the door. And he points at the door.
And you look at
And he
what
says, what you do to it?
you look at what Callisto's got.
It
and
was
it's
fun.
like-
We dropped it. It's fine.
He looks at Valia. He's like, did you try eating it?
Nope. Nope.
Am I supposed to stick it in a hole or something? That's what I asked.
Ulfgar just kind of backs out the way. After you.
I walk up to the door and I look at it and I look for the hole that matches it and I just kind of shove it in there.
Okay. The little like indentations are actually all equally sized, because they're so. If we're gonna start playing around with this puzzle, I do have a page prepped.
Oh boy.
If you wanna.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
The indentions do they run 2 columns or are they like scattered or?
Here we go.
It looks like one of those teleportation circle things, right? Tobias, you're good with those.
So imagine, if you will. Oh, why did I? Imagine, if you will, this is the star, kind of, and then these squares are the indentations around. So it's an 8-pointed star, and these are the indentations around the points of the star.
And we determined that that one was not to fit in there.
Interesting. Oh, where's that? I closed the handout. Crap. Let me find that real quick.
Sorry.
I look at Ulfgar and I say, did anyone look at the map to see if it turned into an 8-pointed?
No.
Like where they were located in the city?
He looks
I
over
don't
Valia.
remember where we got each of them, to be honest.
You're the one with the map.
I don't remember which one. We just kind of X'd out or circle where we found each one. I don't think we actually put which ones we actually found where.
Since I don't know, what I do is I just stick it in like the first hole, which is right here.
Okay, so that was wait, that was
The
the Sue monster, right?
And then I go over to the grass and I start wiping my hand.
Do you guys can you guys control these or no?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can I fix that? Edit? No. Okay. Here, let me give...
So what, you're putting the monkey in which one?
Monkey in that one? Like that?
There?
Yes.
Okay.
Assume that's the one closest to my level, which is what I would do.
Oh, there it is. Settings.
The greasy monkey now.
Oh.
Well, maybe we have to stick them all in the hole and then set them on all fire. So what we did is actually the right way of doing it.
Setting things on fire is not always the answer.
But it looks cool.
In case you had forgotten, just yesterday we were all set on fire. It was not a pleasant experience.
But I'm sure we looked cool.
No, you looked quite dead. Or almost dead.
Well, I mean,
Well,
you know, that happened.
Alright.
right.
You guys should have control of the tokens now. Get this last one. There you go. Okay, you should have control over those puzzle cubes now.
Mm-hmm.
I look back at Ulfgar. I was like, do you think we have to put these in the order of that, the words back there?
In the order of the words? What do
You
you
know,
mean?
that thing you're reading and mumbling off when you're looking at the obelisk thing.
He pulls out the paper that he wrote the stuff on. He says, "This stuff?
Yes, that stuff.
Oh, what's... There's an order to it?" And he's looking over it and he says, "I don't see it."
Well, do we know if any of these guys were opposed to necromancy, maybe?
Wait a minute. Enemies oppose. Each one had their own story.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them hated each other.
Yes.
I don't know which one hated each other.
So we have to remember all the stories. Oh, I wish that guy was with us.
Scary boy, we left him way back there.
Yeah.
I'm looking through our...
He's hiding in the bushes over by the back door, right?
Just go back and get him. You know,
Just
no biggie.
dig
I'm
up some
sure he'll be
bushes.
right where you left him.
So the
So I'm
enemies
sure
oppose. Go on.
Wasn't the monkey fighting with one in particular?
I think they all were fighting with one in particular.
Yeah, they were all fighting with each other, basically. But,
Let's see. Because
this is
some...
where we find out who takes good notes and who doesn't. Yay!
I didn't take notes about, which one did what.
I didn't either.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah, no.
Make an intelligence check.
Thank you.
Anybody who's trying to remember.
I guess I could try to remember that. It's going to be pretty pathetic, though. There we go. Before you say anything... Oh, yeah. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty crap.
Well, this actually makes sense because these two have spent the most time in that hallway. From what you recall, hang on one sec, let me go look at this. The Sioux monster was the enemy of the Sioux monster was the Jakuli. And suddenly you realize that hallway that you were just in, the Sioux monster and the Jakuli were opposite each other.
Mhm.
All right, I'll tell Callisto. I'm like, when we remember that, I'm like, oh, I said, you know what? And I was like, somebody go back down the hallway, and we need to figure out who's across from who. So I say we put.
I
Right.
have it. I remembered. I know who's across from who.
Okay, cool. I think that's how I said. That might be how we do this. But the fun part is having to, put them in this circle shape here.
So the rabbit is across from the Nerebear.
From the what?
Nerebear.
Okay. I don't actually see that. Is the Obolaka puzzle one?
Good.
Is that the
Good.
Nerebear?
1 second.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think that's
yeah,
the
that's the
Yes,
Nerebear.
it is.
So then that would be here. Whoop.
Well.
I was trying to help at the same time.
There.
And so then the bird is across from the frog.
Oh. Okay.
And the grung from the cat thingy.
Grog and cat. Okay. And then one stands between them. But there's
The
no.
one that
That'd be your slimy
So-
Snail buddy.
Hang on. 1 second. So, so you get those guys in position,
Why?
and stuff happens.
Oh.
Minus the snail, right? That's still.
So you hear the sound of kind of stone moving,
Mm-hmm.
right? And actually, hang on. So 1 sec, let me go back.
Air stone moving, and I duck. I'm like, arrows.
Ulfgar, just hang on. I'm gonna move you guys back to the other map because okay, because that might be all that's needed there. So you hear the sound of stone moving behind you, actually. So Valia and Ulfgar, you kind of turn, right, and there is a big slab of stone that is descending from the ceiling here. So it's descending quite quickly. So you guys have a very short amount of time to decide whether to stay in this area or run out.
So you're saying is, let me draw a line. Basically, there's something dropping down right there.
Yep.
Potentially trapping us in this area.
Yep. Here, actually, I have a thing. There we go. Boop. So that you see the box that I just.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry.
So that's where
Yeah,
it's.
I can see it. Oops, sorry.
Sorry.
I can see it now.
Here, I'll move it out a little bit. So. Here we go. So it's dropping. This is dropping very quickly. So who's staying? Who's going?
I didn't notice right away.
Ulfgar would just stand.
So you're staying.
He'd stay.
Okay. Valia,
Yeah,
staying
I'm
or
just gonna
going?
stay.
Okay. Tobias, staying or going?
I'm staying.
Okay.
Ulfgar would say, Aelia! As it closes.
And she kind of runs over, and just you see her hooves, like as the stone like drops.
So we're just yelling, flipping!
Ulfgar's like, no, you stay here.
Okay. So it goes very dark suddenly, because
Ulfgar would cast light.
and you hear a hissing noise from the area kind of where you were just facing, looking at the thing with the puzzle cubes and whatnot. There is this hissing noise, and I need
You just hear me go, I'm just holding my breath.
I need everybody to make a
Ulfgar says, "Asps."
Constitution asps. Very dangerous. Could everybody make a Constitution save, please?
I will try my best to make one.
Okay, roll one.
So that wasn't say that was.
I'm going to use a special ability right now.
Oh yeah, what is that?
That is favored by the gods, where I roll 2d4 and add it to the total when I fail a saving throw or miss with an attack roll.
Okay.
I guess I get to know if I fail with the saving throw first, though, before I use it.
Okay. Yes, you do fail.
Okay, so then I will roll 2d4. 4.
So wait, which one is to? Well, Tobias rolled an 8, and then what's the 18 for?
The 8 was Constitution check, not save.
Oh, okay, not save. Yeah, okay. All right.
So I got 16 now.
Okay. So, Kellisto, I'm sorry, Kellisto. You take you kind of feel this, like, actually it makes sense because you're closest as well. You feel this kind of blast of air that's hissing from where the stone panel was. And
sure.
It's like, it's caustic. You can feel it, like, kind of hitting your skin, and it stings and burns. And you take 5 poison damage and 5 acid damage. And it's still going. Still hissing.
So this just happened. We realize that we're being, like, gassed right now, yeah?
Yeah, I would say so. Actually, let's roll, like, initiative, if you don't mind, because I just want to make sure, like, as we go through these turns that we're tracking what we're doing. And damage.
Mine's a 12.
Come on.
Okay. Alright. So Ulfgar.
He'd cast knock on the door that just closed on us.
Ah, okay. Yep, so that raises back up again.
And he says, "Quick, everyone out!"
Yeah, I just take off out. You hear me gasping because I was holding my breath.
Now, and I'm like, it's burned. It's burning.
So you can see now that as the door raises up, the light kind of floods the area, and you can see that those skulls that were all around the edge, have like a slightly off-colored, slightly greenish gas, like just hissing out of their mouths.
Ulfgar says, points at him, narrows his eyes. Protection magic.
And the puzzle cubes are now on the ground.
Rats.
Well, it's safe to say we got that part wrong, didn't it?
Is it still, like, blasting the caustic air out?
Yep.
All right, everyone keep backing up. Let's back up further. And he tries to use Mage Hand to grab the cubes back out.
Mm-hmm.
Pull them all away.
Yeah.
I don't know if this thing will self-reset or what, but I don't think we should get any closer at this point. Maybe give it a few minutes and see if it finishes blowing its crap air out there.
I'm just passing next to Flippy. I'm just gently push Ulfgar away. Let me handle this, and I'm going in, casting Warding Wind.
Okay. So you're blowing the gas kind of back towards the slab, I take it? Or?
Just to save myself. Where is it? Warding Wind. Here we go.
Strong wind blows around you in a 10-foot radius. Okay, so it's kind of like, gotcha. So, yeah, everybody, you can kind of feel this wind like encircle you, actually it's kind of blows around you in a 10-foot radius. So everybody can see like, or gets this kind of wind, like fairly decent wind, like buffeting you.
Straight in your face.
Yep. And I don't think we can hear each other now.
Yep, it is quite noisy.
I cast a healing word on myself.
Okay.
And I'm going in. I'm going to grab the cubes.
Ulfgar was grabbing him with his mage hand originally while you were casting your windward, which actually, yeah, he wouldn't have been able to grab him because your windward would have just like knocked him back. So I guess you've got the cubes, or are you blasting them out of there with your wind?
They're just bouncing off like bullets.
Who knows where they are now?
No.
Okay, so do I manage to collect the cubes?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Well, Ulfgar, you've been mage handing them out.
I was gonna start doing that, but if he cast that
Okay.
warding wind, then
Yeah,
that wouldn't have done much. So
Okay. So yes.
Okay,
got them
and
there, Tobias.
I'll just attempt to assemble the cubes into the puzzle again.
Okay. So you're trying to change the configuration, or?
Yeah, I'm going to change the configuration.
Ulfgar's shouting something, but nobody can hear
You
it.
can use the message.
He can, but it takes a verbal component.
I'm gonna get rid of.
It's
Get rid of turn order.
it's word you're deaf and not unable to speak.
How far away are you? Because he'd walk out of the wind and then cast message to you. That it doesn't matter. He'll just walk far enough away that he's not in the wind anymore, and then he would cast message and say, if you're going to put them back in place, be sure to do it with the images facing in.
With the images facing in.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna move you guys back over here to the puzzle layout. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. Here you go.
Yay.
Do you remember where they were?
Nope.
Sure do.
I do.
But Tobias can't hear.
That was where the first one was, yeah.
Could you not?
I agree. Zip it.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm trying to remember what was with this.
Ulfgar's looking at his paper and he's saying, using message saying, the keys turn on the inside only. That means that the pictures have to face inwards, right? I don't even remember. There's probably a picture on all the sides, isn't there?
Okay, I would like to see if there is any indications that where specific cubes have to go, or there are just carvings.
Make an investigation check.
My favorite skill. Because I have +5 in it. And usually rolls terribly.
Hey, that's not a bad investigation.
That's a good investigation. You find that there is no difference between the indentations. No markings, no nothing. It's they're just 8 square slots.
Anything on the cubes?
And the cubes are as you see them.
So there's a bunch of skulls. There's the openings for the cubes, and an 8-pointed star in the middle, and that's it. That's all we see.
Yep.
I don't remember if my light spell works at range or if I have to touch it. I think it's touch. Spellbook. Yeah, it's touch range. Ulfgar says, Valia, do you think you'd be able to hold that door open if it locks back down on him again?
I don't know why this rabbit seems off.
Your rabbit seems off.
This physical cube with rabbit.
Ulfgar is saying to you, do you remember the order or the opposites? Actually, if you come out of there, I could probably use Mage Hand to try and put those in place so that you don't need to be in there and it locks you in or anything. Meanwhile, cha-ching, the last one.
So you put... Okay, so this is the order that you put them in?
Yeah, and I'm going to try to face them inward.
Okay. Nothing happens.
The
Or
gas.
let me rephrase that. The door doesn't move, and the gas is still trying to blow out and just being blown all over the place by your spell, but the door doesn't move.
I just sit on the ground and with my elbows on my knees and my little claws into my chin, going, "You're doing good." I look at Kellisto and I'm not going back in there.
I look at her, I'm like, ah.
I don't think he can hear you.
Just tell Kellisto, get another bottle out of your pouch, you'll be okay. And pat her on the back.
Can I gamble for this?
Oh, you want to like make a roll? Is that what you...
Yeah, make a roll to see if I just like chucking them in a random order will do something.
Yeah, make
I feel like I'm trying to like yell at somebody. No, the picture's not straight yet. No, move it this
yeah, make an intelligence check. And this doesn't seem right. It's the Tomb of the Nine Gods. You've got 9 puzzle pieces. There should be 9 indentations.
And so far there's like 8 statues.
And yeah, 8 statues. That doesn't seem right either.
Did anybody touch the obelisk thing?
Not with their bare hands.
Touch the butt.
Only with
Okay, I'm gonna go
magic.
over and touch the button.
Okay,
That's the nuclear button. What are you doing?
okay, I'm grabbing the cubes and I'm going to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up and walk
I'm
over
going
to the
out of
obelisk.
there.
He just starts putting them in his
Alright,
mouth.
let me move you guys back to the map. We're going like backwards, forwards. Alright, so Valia, you're just kind of laying hands on this big stone obelisk.
I like get my hands out and I'm like, okay, if it hurts me, Kellisto, get ready to heal me. And I just shove my hands on it. It's really like so anticlimactic.
Yeah, because nothing happens.
I scream. I'm like, oh, it's hurting me. I just start laughing.
I just look at her with my eye like this, like,
I just slap it. I'm like, yep, it's just a cold hunk of rock. What else was in that chest, by the way?
It was just the other 3 puzzle cubes, that's it.
Okay, so we are missing a hole. We are missing a
What?
statue.
Wait, we're what? We're missing a what?
We have 9 blocks. We have one that's not fitting.
Is there like an illusionary hole? We've had illusions before with these traps. Is there like an opening? You feel the doors and stuff? I don't want to go in there while he's in there with that cast going on.
Yeah, I'm not going back in there.
What about the end of the hall here?
Yeah, that's where I was running. I'm running down to the end of the hall.
Ulfgar would light up your javelin before you got out of range.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go start scratching around on the wall. Like, literally, I'm gonna take my claws and just, like, scratch around, see if I can find anything.
It's just like a cat.
Well, shoot.
Actually, hang on.
So bad at investigating things. Yep, it's a wall.
It is a wall.
Did these statues move? Like, can I physically move them or anything?
Are you gonna try?
I mean, I'm gonna just kind of like push, like kind of see if one moves. I'm not gonna shove it or like put force behind it.
So you kind of give it a brief shove, like and doesn't seem to do anything.
Did you find anything down there?
The oil that's on fire kind of sloshes dangerously like around in the basin as you're
Yeah, I just kind of hop back a little bit, like, ooh, ow. No, still oil, still. Well, is it still lit since we don't have the cubes in here?
It is still lit, yeah.
They're still lit, even though the cubes aren't in here. Did you bring that snail one down here? Yeah, you brought it down here.
Yeah. It says in darkness it hides. Do you see any masks down there?
No, I'm just gonna touch all of the statue faces and probably not find anything. I'm like, nope, no masks.
Make a perception check. Valia.
Please, no investigation.
She's giving you a free roll.
Oh my god. So that was the DC. So you notice, like, and maybe it's while you were doing your investigation check, or while you're investigating that wall, scratching at it, you see, like, actually down at the bottom, there's a tiny sliver of light. Like so it's all grassy and stuff and dirt and dead leaves and whatnot, but you can just see, like, underneath all the dead leaves there's this little glow of light.
Oh, okay, I get on my hands and knees and I'm like wiping away at the leaves and stuff. I'm like, wait, I think I see something.
Yeah,
right,
so as you wipe it away
as I can.
As you wipe it, like, brush everything away, all the dead leaves out the way and everything, you can see, there's definitely an edge here, like a tiny gap, and there's a flickering light that you can see, like, under that gap.
Is it big enough to wedge my fingers under, maybe?
I mean, maybe just the very tips of your fingers, but...
Yeah, like, is there air coming out of it, or, like, it's just the flickering light?
Just the light.
I yell, Ulfgar, come down here!
He comes down there.
I'm, like, laying on my stomach on the ground, like, my eye, you know, when you see bad things in horror movies when they stick their eye in holes and stuff, that's me. So I'm like, there's a light down here, like, there's a little tiny gap, there's a light in.
Do I see the gap?
Yeah, but with Valia pointing at it, yeah, you can definitely see it.
Would I be able to use my dwarven stone cutting to try and figure out if there's a door here somewhere?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Okie doke.
Better you than me.
Not really. Not really. I've got a -1, but you're
I'm
-2.
at -2.
Yeah. Investigation.
I love how.
I've got a total of a 0 though, so
Ready?
13.
Um,
It looks like there's a gap there.
yeah.
Hey, Kellisto!
Just give me a thumbs up. I'm like, thanks.
How good are you at getting into very small spaces?
I kind of sigh and groan and get myself up. I just kind of trudge over there. I'm like, yeah.
He gets out the way and he says, "Here, show her what you were showing me."
I'm still laying on the floor, like on my stomach. I just point. I'm like, there's some light under here. See this tiny, tiny. I don't know if you're small enough or if I can squish you under it or anything.
If I can squish you under it.
Ulfgar hustles out of the
Jello
chamber.
mouse. Can I just like Jello mouse and shove you under?
In the middle of what she was saying, I just like don't say a word and I just poof into a spider.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I just kind of jump back. I'm like, yeah, okay.
I start
Don't step
crawling.
on it. Don't. Resist the
scoot
urge
over
to
and then I
squish the
put my-
spider.
Put my eye back down there, trying to see if I can watch her scurry.
Yep, you see this tiny spider. But even like as a spider, Kellisto has to kind of flatten herself out and then do this little scuttle underneath through this gap.
I just put my little claw and I kind of help try to shove her under the.
You're almost squished, Kellisto, by a big giant lizard person claw. But you scuttle underneath this little gap into this area, and you kind of you're on the floor. You come out from like under this stone like panel, and you see in front of you a big statue with a flail snail on it and a basin of oil underneath that is lit and flickering. Did you like that, like, flickering thing? That's the universal symbol for flickering.
Can you make your necklace do flames?
I can't really become myself, so kind of like scurry around to see if there's anything I can notice before I go back out. That might be different.
It looks like the missing statue, right? Like, this is, what you guys were looking for. But there isn't, like, anything particularly different, about the setup of the statue. It's a big flail snail, kind of, and it's, like, reared up, kind of, and then it's got this basin of oil, like, underneath where it's all reared up.
I crawl around on
cool.
the wall, or the panel, I guess, to see if there's any, like, keyhole or anything.
Make an investigation check. Come on, somebody! Oh yes, thank you. Yeah, you find it's kind of like the opposite, like, but you find the spot where the toggle will be on the outside.
Okay.
So you think
There's
like
nothing there, right?
What do you mean?
It's just a door. Like you said, I find the spot where the toggle would be.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that's a terrible description. You find like the mechanism for behind like the handle, basically. Like there's a hidden handle on the outside, and you find the mechanism for it on the inside.
Okay.
I'm still laying under there. I'm like, Kellisto, did you find anything?
I'm trying to think. Is there enough room for me to? Well.
Yeah, you could probably like transform back if you like squished yourself like in the alcove with the snail. You could probably transform.
I was trying to think if I could like try to like open it from the inside.
As Kellisto, yeah, you could. As a spider, not so much.
Okay. I'm gonna try to transform back into myself. This may be a really bad idea. So I'll go as close to, like, as far away from the oil as possible.
Okay, so you kind of climb up the wall a little bit.
Fire druid.
And yeah, transform back, and you are like squished in beside this like snail statue, and it's like, oh god, I can't really move. Like, it's really difficult to move. but yeah, you've got like an arm free. I mean, you know, you're just kind of like jammed in there sideways.
So you're telling me there's
I try to open up the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Having seen the mechanism up close and personal as a spider, you can certainly do so. And Valia, you're like down on the floor looking through this tiny gap, and suddenly the stone panel like grinds like as it slides to the side.
I just shoved myself up on my butt, and I'm like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Well,
And
that
Kellisto
looks
is
awkward."
jammed in beside this big flail
Like,
snail
are you
statue.
okay in there?
No.
Grab her arm and pull her out. Like, here, let me help you. I'll get up, grab her arm, and pull her out of there.
Okay. So what are you guys doing, Ulfgar and Tobias, while all these shenanigans are going on?
Well, I must ask, Tobias, did you turn off your wind wall?
No.
You still have your wind wall going.
Yeah.
Ulfgar's sending you the message. Would you turn this off? You're blowing the poor bird around. Flippy's all like,
I'm
whoa.
dropping it off. Sorry,
He's like huddled in the corner.
sorry, I forgot.
Wow.
The silence is quite addicting.
So Ulfgar says, so we've got to figure out a way of turning these things inside out. Let's see these cubes again. And he's not comprehending. And he's thinking, because it says the keys turn on the inside only, he's thinking that they've got to turn inside out now. It's like, all right,
I'm gonna run out of this corridor back to the front of not in the main door, but like where that, right at the entryway.
So
I'm not gonna say anything.
Hang on, before you leave, one thing that, sorry, and Kellisto, you would have seen this as the spider. I'm sorry, I totally overlooked this, I forgot about it. There is a pendant that's hanging from, and the flail snail has these two big antennae, right? There's a pendant hanging from one of the eye stalks of the flail snail. It's a gold-shaped pendant, and it's shaped like an eye.
Meanwhile, you can hear Ulfgar down the hallway going, one of these has to open and a mask is stored inside.
I look at Callisto and I'm like, do you want me to grab it or do you want to grab it?
I grabbed it before you pulled me out.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I was like, hold that up. What is it? So I can get a good look at it.
Yeah, I'll hold it up for her.
Let's go see if let's go run over there and see if another hole opened up for this last cube. I'm just gonna run right past them and
Okay.
I will follow in a slightly slower pace, kind of limping a little bit, kind of trying to stretch.
How'd you do? Did you make any progress? Did you find a mask?
So you see, Valia comes just racing past you, Ulfgar.
Right, she probably
She's on a
stepped over
mission.
him because he's probably like hunched down with a puzzle cube trying to figure out if it has an opening.
So Tobias, you see Valia like race past you, and Kellisto is like walking kind of behind her. And Kellisto, as you get close to the obelisk, have you got the pendant like in your hand?
Yes.
Okay. So you feel like, and you actually can see like the pendant is from like a short gold chain, and you can see the pendant move like it's being magnetized, and it moves in that direction.
I stop, like suddenly, and I just kind of hold it out in front of me, and I watch it, and then I kind of step start walking towards the direction without saying anything.
Okay. Yeah, it is. So, yep, you walk there and it's kind of pointing in this direction.
And about halfway there, I'm like, hey guys, follow me!
Yep, it's like over here.
Before she did that, Ulfgar looked down the hallway from where they came from since they didn't answer. See that there's now a lit statue at the end of the hallway.
Yep.
And say, by the beard, they found a secret passage. Tobias, did you find a mask? Oh wait, she's calling for us, let's go.
I just yell at Callisto. I'm like, hey, where are you going? Do I see her holding the pendant up?
Yeah, you can see kind of she's holding her hand up.
Follow it!
Yeah, so it's pointing here, and it's pointing to like, like right here. It starts pointing like, actually, in this way.
I'll start pulling the bushes, like pulling those bushes or whatever they are back, the shrubs and stuff, and like clearing the area for her.
Okay. Yeah. So
Can I do a perception check?
yeah, sure. Yeah. So you see, as
you
you
ever?
look kind of closer at the undergrowth that's all around the base of the cliff, you can see that there's an archway carved into the cliff face. And Valia, this is what you discover as well. As you pull aside the undergrowth, you uncover this archway in the cliff face. And on the lintel of the archway, so the piece at the top, stone skulls are peering down, and old bones litter the threshold. And suddenly, as you're pulling everything back from the entrance, light streams into it, and a swarm of bats screeches out from inside this entrance hallway. And here I can... Where is my thing?
I throw myself to the side and flatten against the wall.
Yeah, just kind of like, whoa.
Ulfgar just goes, would you look at that?
I think I just deleted the wrong... No, there is.
Good thing you've turned your wind wall off, Tobias, or else you'd be beating them silly.
Boop. There we go.
Beating the girls silly with those bats.
I should do it. Yeah, okay.
Oh, hey, look at that. That's pretty
Hey,
nifty.
it disappeared.
And, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Valia and Kellisto. I see your names are still there, but you two are invisible.
Oh! Wait, what?
I told you I was magic.
Damn it.
Control Z. Oh, no.
Okay. What?
Oh,
Hang
they're
on,
underneath
hang on.
the...
Let me move that to the back.
Bring to top.
Oh my god.
They're hiding.
Isn't that like...
We're hiding from the bats.
Why is that on the map layer now? Nope. Oh my gosh, I can't find it.
Just
don't go under that.
just click on Valia and Kellisto and tell them to come to top. Or you can do that with each of us.
Yeah, I can't do that. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Here, I'll just... I can move that out the way and you can see yourselves again.
Okay, that works.
Wait, what layer is that on? It's on the objects and tokens. Hang on, let me see if I can... Sorry. To back. There we go.
Hey!
Got it.
Alright, so
Sorry,
get
it
rid
took
of
me a
this.
minute. Sorry.
Nice. Crisis averted.
Sorry.
Just get rid of some of these.
Okay. So, Aelia's
There.
gonna come over here as well. So,
So we all see that there's a big opening there now?
yeah, Valia pulled aside a bunch of undergrowth, and you see, this.
When did that get there? Do you think those Yuanti knew it was there that were standing just a few feet from it?
They're pretty dumb, so probably not.
Crafty little buggers trying to hide this from us.
I hope this is easier than the other door.
Yeah, me too. I point at the skulls. I'm like, yeah. I was like, me too.
So,
Well-
who's going to go first? Because I'm not.
Like here, I don't have the skulls. I don't have the blocks anymore Who has them?
Ulfgar
Famous
quickly
Ulfgar.
takes the one that's in his hand and puts it back on the pile that Tobias has and says, "He does."
You've been volunteered,
my
Tobias.
I just shake my head at Tobias. I'm like, come on, Tobias, I'll go with you. Let's see if we can. I bet this is the right door.
Ulfgar says, "In
I
dark."
have the lowest expectations.
So in darkness it hides, right? You don the
Which
mask
would be that
or be
statue that
seen.
was hidden.
Yeah, is there a mask?
No, but we found the pendant, which is what led us here. So I'm assuming that's what. This is probably the correct door.
Okay, so the door, what you're seeing in front of you, a slab of worked stone blocks the end of this tunnel. Grinning skulls mark the edge of the slab, and in the center, there's 9 cube-shaped cavities arranged in 3 rows of 3.
There you go. Looks like it's all good now. I see more of those skulls though.
Yeah. All right, Tobias, are you ready? Let's do this.
Okay, what do we see?
Okay, let me move you over to a new puzzle cube.
Ooh. Let me zoom out a bit.
There we go.
Wow.
This one has better.
Can't interact with the cube token.
No, god damn it. Really? And I can't change them en masse. It's really annoying. Or if I can, I don't know. I don't know how, because I'm a scrub.
Well, you could just have people like draw a line to where they want the
That's
stuff
alright.
to go.
I am moving.
Right.
Slowly but surely. So yeah, there you go. That's in the center, and then around the edge are some skulls. Skullsies.
Tobias and Valia. Go get them.
Well, this one's a little different than the last one, but it's got all the correct amounts of slots. So
There you go. You've got control of them now.
I walk up to them. I'm like, Snail probably goes in the middle.
I just look at Kellisto. I'm like, thanks, Kellisto.
You're welcome. I'll go sit over here.
Remember to turn them inside out. Is there a mask?
Ulfgar,
I think it's going to be the same concept. You're going to put them here and here, here and here, here and here, and then the 2 middle ones opposite of each other as well.
Isn't it like opposites like this and like this?
Yeah, you're going to make
Like
the diagonal
Nah.
up and down. Yeah.
So let's say this monster.
The
Wolf
monkey.
here. The monkey.
So-
Monkey was enemy with the Grung.
Be right back.
I
don't
yell, no,
remember.
it's a snaky thingy.
The snake guy here.
I'm
Yeah,
near
the-
them. I'm just kind of sitting in the ground watching.
Yeah, the snake guy. And then we have, what was next, Kellisto? The
Rabbit. And the bear.
Drew and put the rabbit here? Okay. And then the next 2.
So it'll be then like this.
The bird is opposite of the frog.
The bear is opposite of the frog.
Okay, does that look good?
No. Let's see.
We are going to die.
You're all dead. End of adventure. So all of the puzzle cubes, when you place the last one in, all of them pop back out again. And there's the last one that you placed in, it kind of starts like crackling. That the indentation, the slot where you put the last cube starts crackling, and then from that cube, like it's just the crackling just builds and builds and builds, and then suddenly like lightning bolts burst out of that spot. And
Ow. I
Which one
scramble
is
up and I like, I'm out of here now. And I start running towards Ulf.
Okay, which one it was? This one or this one?
Hang on, let me go back to that page. Show me again.
This one. Just select.
I switched the bird and the.
Yeah, I think it was the bird that was last, right? Yeah, so the bird was last. So everybody within 20 feet, which I think is everybody except Ulfgar and Aelia, takes 18 points of lightning damage. So yeah, and Ulfgar, you see suddenly like this lightning just like strikes out from the general door area or slab area, and Tobias, Valia, and Kellisto all get zapped.
After it happens,
The wrong answer.
poke his head around the edge. Are you all okay in there?
I don't like this game anymore.
I cast protection from energy on myself.
Okay.
Do people need to make any kind of dodge check to take half damage on that stuff, or?
No, actually, there is nothing about. I was looking for that as well. Like, really, they don't get a reflex save or anything. All right, so these have all fallen to the floor.
Boo.
Oop. Come on. Right. We'll go.
So how deep in is this from where Ulfgar was last standing? You know, like at the entrance, is this like a 20-foot?
Hang on, let me measure. You were there, and that is there. Yeah, it's like 25 feet from where you're standing.
Okay. So Ulfgar would peek his head around the corner again and say, "So if you're done pressing dangerous buttons, I could try the mage hand thing like I've been suggesting."
Fine, do it.
Yeah, we're all grumpy now. We're all like backing out of it. I'm like, whatever.
See, like
Boston.
Callisto's braids are kind of smoldering a little bit.
Hair's a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you all take a short rest? Regain your stamina there, and I'll see about doing it. You can just guide me a bit with where things were a moment ago. I think the rabbit was here. Yeah. So we'll put he's going to use his mage hand to.
Okay. Yep.
The rabbit here, and the snail was here.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the snaky dude here. No, there was no rabbit there. That was the monkey was at the top there, and the snake was there.
Okay, hang on 1 second. When you move the actual pieces there, I'm going to consider them moved. All right, like you're actually putting them in.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So.
Okay.
Continue.
And I don't remember where the rest of them were. I didn't really get that good of a look. You guys kind of jammed a band and got zapped.
Crane was at the top middle.
Is that where it should be this time?
No, that's where it was.
Okay. What was next to that? Was it the frog monster?
Yeah. Well, yeah. The thing that looks a little more like Cthulhu.
Yeah, this thing here. All right, so then what goes under each of these? Okay, so opposite the cat was the grung, wasn't it?
Yes.
And opposite this dude, the frog hemoth thing, what was opposite that?
The bird.
Oops. Wait, I don't want to edit the token. Stop. Cancel. Okay, the bird.
What is going on?
And then we've got what, the rabbit at the top? And the nerebear at the bottom.
Yep.
So it's kind of like that. Is how it was?
Can I just want to
no.
move this to see that.
That's not how it was. I know the crane was at the very top. But I don't remember where anything else was. So the crane was next to the monkey.
Oh. So then most likely this and this are opposite each other. A rabbit.
I could have sworn that the little Cthulhu thing was right next to the crane.
Aye, it was.
Maybe
All right.
we had them in the wrong order.
Ulfgar takes a look at the statues down the hallway and sees which one is across from which. I don't have that option to do it on here. I've been trying to do it without it, but obviously it's just a simple thing to say.
Oh, you're doing it based on the statues. I thought you were talking about what we had configured before.
Both. Basically, I'm just trying to find the opposites of each other, and then I'm also trying to find out how you guys had it.
Snake is opposite of monkey. Rabbit is opposite bear.
Okay.
Crane is opposite frog. Grung is opposite the cat. In the statues.
Okay. All right. And you think that we had...
The last configuration that we had up on the wall, the crane was next to the monkey. I could have sworn that the guy with the Cthulhu guy was next.
Right. So here's what I'm going to do. Mage hand here. Here.
Wait.
Whoops. Let me do it one at a time.
Yes,
hold on. All right. So crane.
Okay.
Cthulhu monster.
Okay.
Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Grung.
Okay.
Nerebear.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more gently. And Rabbit of Doom. Hold on. There we go.
Rabbit.
And then he'll like get as much behind the wall as he can while he's like using his foot. And he just boop, and then he just like ducks away as soon as he does it.
Is anybody looking to see what happens? You hear a rumbling noise.
Does it sound like a door closing? Like shkoom, like before, or a lightning bolt charging, or a fireball being launched?
It does sound like a stone slab moving.
You peek back around again.
Okay, you see... Oh, go. Sorry.
Sorry, do we all hear that then?
Yeah, here, let me move
I'll
you.
run back over towards the other side.
Move you back to the map.
It just kind of books it across the doorway. I don't want to get into trouble.
Oh yeah, I don't think you guys were still there, right?
No, I had run towards Ulfgar, so I'm nearby him.
Tobias, I'm
Yeah,
assuming you weren't.
we had run back. I'll run back over here and look in this area.
Basically, Ulfgar was kind of like edging here around the corner.
So now, anybody that was looking at this door here would see that this is the one sliding up. So anybody looking here, this is why I was asking who was looking, right? Sees that the 9 cubes flare with light and then they disappear. And then there's this rumbling, growling noise as this door slides up into the ceiling.
Right, door's open.
And you see before you This is going to be a really long chapter, guys.
Oh, jeez. And there's a door behind the door for crying out. Oh, by the beard.
I just look at everybody. I'm like, that's it. I'm going back to that temple. We're just gonna fight him and get this done. Nope.
So, another stone slab blocks the hallway 20 feet beyond the first door. An iron lever is set into the door's surface with a graven stone skull leering down from above it.
Does it look like a mask?
Nope, looks like a stone skull.
Ah.
I look at
Daring
them
us
and
to
like,
pull the lever.
so who wants to pull the lever?
Where's Kronk? When we need a Kronk.
We need a Kronk here.
Um,
Can your mage hand pull that lever?
I don't know exactly where in that area the lever is.
It's on the door right there.
I can't reach that far.
Get closer.
Up. I just push him forward. I'm like, move up.
He moves just about there, I think. I think he can reach there. Yeah, he should be able to reach there. Yeah. And he tries to see if he can reach the lever with his mage hand. He's not pulling it yet.
Yeah, you think you can?
All right. He says, all right, let's back off. I don't know if another lightning bolt's coming out of this thing. So could you give me one more description before he does this?
Yep. So another slab blocks the hallway 20 feet beyond the first door. An iron lever is set into the door's surface with a graven stone skull leering down from above. It's like stone corridor, stone door, iron lever in the door, stone skull up above it.
I'm wondering if the first line of the thing on here says the enemies opposed was just a key for putting the things in order. And this is the one that's like one stands between them. But I don't know what that means. So I pull the lever. Or I try to with my mage hand, which I think can only move like either 5 or 10 pounds. So I don't know if it can even do that.
Yeah, I mean, it could. Yeah,
10
it
pounds.
Could. Okay, yeah, then it definitely could, right? So you kind of pull the lever, it cranks downwards, and you hear like a whirring sound, and just a few seconds later, this whole floor here splits and opens, and
traps. Why did it have to be traps?
there's a big pit in the floor now.
And he kind of walks gently. Assuming that the sounds have stopped and stuff, he kind of walks gently forward, looking over to see what's ahead, what's down below.
So there are spikes at the bottom of that pit. It's about 20 foot deep. Got a bunch of spikes.
Yeah, I walk forward.
Found the way forward. There you go. And he just kind of like holds a hand out, like after you type thing.
Yeah, I'm going to use mold earth to cover the pit with dirt.
I am a big fan of taking time for this. Why don't we all take a rest while Tobias does this, and the rest of us can use our stuff to heal ourselves up at the moment. Take our rest healing or whatever.
Okay.
Because I know that'll take him some time to move all the dirt in there.
Yep.
Does that mean I get to use my little dice thing?
Yep. And
How do I do that again?
So you use your... Let me actually open up my character as well. Your hit dice. However many hit dice you have, which you should have 8, because you're level 8. Yep, there you go. You gained 6. On top of that, Ulfgar's going to use his ability to give people extra health from the Song of Rest. So people gain an extra d6 on top of this. Which actually,
So does that mean I get to roll 8 times, or is just the D8?
you get to roll up to 8 times. You can roll them one at a time. And everybody will get an extra 1 point of healing from Ulfgar's smarmery. So you only use up as many as you need, and then you can save the rest. And then they refresh after you have a long rest. And there you go. No magic spells required. So, got nice earthen floor. Well done.
Yep, so
Tobias.
about 20 minutes later, there's a big, like over here, there's a big hole, basically, in the floor now, where,
Okay, I take that.
where you've dug up the dirt, basically, and moved it into the pit using mold earth. Yeah, a nice dirt floor now.
Right. So, did the lever actually go back into its original position?
No.
Okay. And did the skull above do anything?
No.
Well, I suppose it'd take the extra time, since we're doing like the rest and Ulfgar hasn't lost any health. He would take the time to cast Detect Magic again, seeing if he could see if there's magical protections on the door or the skull or anything like that.
Wait, sorry, you're casting Detect Magic?
Yes.
Okay. You see, yeah, I think it would be, probably Conjuration again.
What is the lever, the door, the
lever.
skull? Is the skull?
The lever.
Okay, but only the lever.
Yeah, sorry. I see what you mean.
Okay. That's strange. Only the lever seems to be magically enhanced by conjuration, which should perhaps bring about an object. But when I pulled the lever, it just made the floor drop. One stands between them. He'd like to take a really close look at the lever at this point.
Okay, so you're moving up there?
Yes.
Okay. Give me like an investigation check?
Okay.
One question though. Does this song adding 1d6 to our hit dice?
It gives you 1 extra hit point of health up to your maximum from that short rest. That's it.
Oh, okay. So 11 it is. Okay.
So you find, yeah, the lever is fairly normal looking. It looks, I guess, are you looking for anything in particular, or?
I'm just trying to figure out how, because he's of the mind that one stands between them has something to do with this door.
I mean, the lever looks like it's got a mechanism behind it. You can't really see much of the mechanism though, but
okay.
Yeah.
So then he just starts checking the walls and everything like that for hidden passages, because now that 2 have been revealed, he's thinking there's going to be a third one.
Okay.
There you go. I don't know if anybody else is joining in and doing any of this at this point.
You don't find... I'm going to use the same investigation check for all of it, and you don't find any hidden passages.
Okay.
In this corridor.
Well, we've got a magical lever that all it appeared to do is drop the floor out. We've got a door that doesn't seem to open. There's no handles or anything on it. It's just a stone wall, right?
Right.
Did you press the lever again?
A skull. No. He backs up out of the room. Tries pulling the lever again. With Mage Hand.
So you're resetting the lever?
Yes.
Okay.
Or trying to.
Yep. Nothing seems to happen.
No good.
Do I see anything more than Ulfgar?
Make a perception check.
Saving throws, dexterity, perception.
You see the same stuff as Ulfgar.
I cast Solve Puzzle. Ulfgar says, I could probably make you one of these handles, but I don't know the inner workings of the mechanisms and how they might actually work. And he just kind of says, all right, Valia, can you smash the door in?
I can attempt.
You're really that desperate.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't. If it's all magical around here, don't think me smashing the door is gonna.
Says it's just the handle there that's magic.
But remember, you're also magic.
I'm not magic. I'm a dwarf. I know you haven't seen many of my kind, but
I think
still.
he was talking to Valia. Just saying.
Oh, right.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try to smash the door.
With your magic warhammer of smashing.
Make a strength check.
Smash. No.
No, I just bounce off of it. It's all right.
Kellisto, you notice that the pendant is still tugging you forward.
Okay. Well, I will go forward with the pendant and see what happens.
Okay. So when you reach around here, the skull's jaws creak open.
Oh, I just start backing up. I'm like, no. I just
And
shake
then-
my head.
A
Look
skeletal
out.
hand holding an hourglass reaches out from inside the skull's mouth and turns. And this hourglass is there's now sand trickling through the hourglass.
Good.
Look out, it's gonna pour lava
So,
on you. Oh,
10,
Like, what do I do with the key? Or what do I do
9.
with it?
go whatever you do,
8.
quick.
I'm gonna go up to the door and
7.
I try to
Six.
push the thing onto it.
Pull the-
I walk back.
Ulfgar pulls the
5.
lever with his mage hand again.
I'm running
4.
back. It's not enough time. I look at the pendant. What does the pendant look like?
It is still tugging you forward. 2, 1.
What happens?
Nothing.
Like, close
Dang,
my
I
eyes
hate
up.
traps.
I go forward and I put the pendant
Oh,
on
as soon
the.
as you go forward, the skull, sorry, I'm sorry, I should have said, at 1, the hourglass retracted inside the skull again.
I'm gonna go forward again.
Okay, hourglass comes back out, turns,
And I look around to see if
10.
there's any like place where I can put the thing.
9. The pendant, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, well, make a perception check. Sorry, I shouldn't just say no. That's terrible. But I mean,
Perception.
yeah, you don't find anything. 8,
Can I hang it on the lever?
7. You could, yeah.
I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna
6.
walk back.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the door the hand retracts again. The skull's mouth closes, and the whole thing retracts, including the lever inside the door. The pendant drops to the ground, and the door slowly starts receding. Hang on.
I run to pick up the pennant.
Okay. See which way the door goes. Oh God, which way do you go, door? Is this important? I don't know if this is important. I don't. Oh, it sinks. It sinks into the floor. That's close.
Does she retrieve the pendant?
Yes, you get the pendant.
I'll take a few steps forward.
And you see before you a corridor leading forward. A moss-covered corridor extends beyond the second door. Tree roots hang from the sagging ceiling, and the air reeks of rot and damp. Ahead is a relief carving of a bearded devil's face. Adorns the wall at a T-shaped intersection. Let me do this. Like that. There we go. The devil's mouth is open, and it's completely dark inside his mouth.
Is it completely dark down this tunnel?
It is dark down the tunnel as well.
Is the light still on my javelin?
It would have expired by now.
Okay. Well, is that pendant doing anything now?
No, now the pendant hangs. Is conforming to gravity again. Just hangs in a regular manner.
I look at Valia. I'm like, should I step forward?
I can't see in the dark, so be my guest.
Tobias, what are they doing in there?
I just yelled back. I was like, "There's another corridor, but I can't see. It's dark."
Ulfgar says, I suppose you can't either, can you? When he looks at Tobias. Says, here, let me help. And he puts his hand on Tobias and makes his gauntlet emit light.
Right.
So Tobias is a walking torch now.
All the moths are
Take a
going to be
step
attracted to Tobias. They're all circling.
All the bugs in the jungle have decided.
You take a step. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's as described.
I take another step forward.
Okay. Yep, so far so good.
I take another step forward.
Okay.
Ulfgar looks down at the paper he's got. In darkness it hides, he says really loud. And realizes he says it way too loud.
It's kind of like echo. Oh, okay. So you step there and you feel under your foot like it's like you stepped on something and that something just went click.
Maybe I step on fortune cookie.
And the whole
I just triggered a trap.
and from right next to you in the wall, a dart shoots out, and actually, all of you would see these darts shoot from the wall in multiple different places.
Arrows! I just yelled arrows.
Every single time Kellisto lets her guard down.
Kellisto,
I drop
could you
to the
make
ground
a
as fast as
Constitution
possible.
saving throw, please? Okay, you're fine. Yeah, you take. The dart kind of hits you. You take 2 points of piercing damage, but and you feel like it might have been poisoned, a little bit dodgy, but you're okay.
You're right there.
Yup.
I just
Crawl.
point, don't step there.
What happened?
Triggered a trap.
Do you know how?
I stepped on the trap.
Okay, watch where you're stepping. Going forward.
I'm gonna look around and see if I see any more traps in the place right before.
Make a perception check.
Valia, you've got a long staff of
You
some
don't see
sort with your
anything.
javelins, right? Can you poke the floor a bit and make sure it's solid? before she goes bounded into another pit.
Nothing happens, Kellisto. Yep, still fine.
It's a good thing she can
I
see.
yell back, I'm not going any further than this.
Of course, says good, because I'm hoping that you don't really want to set off any more traps.
But I do peek around the corner.
Do you have a way of seeing in the dark, Kellisto?
Yes, I can see 60 feet.
Okay, you got dark vision. All right. Yeah, open up a bit more of this. Go that way, and then this way. That way.
I see a grate in the floor. I shout back. And what is that, a door? I see a door.
Yep, you see a rusted iron grate. And yes, a door.
I see a grate and a door.
That's great. Here, the Ulfgar
great.
and he realizes what he said after he says it. And he's like, just hold on a minute there. And he's taking his time. He's gonna keep looking carefully in front of him, trying not to set off any traps following up to Kellisto.
I look behind me and say, don't step on the next square.
There's a square. He's looking around.
It looks like a tiled floor.
Maybe it is. So I would like to watch for traps while I proceed. Okay. Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see in this area here, there's a raised stone that looks unnaturally placed.
Right.
Those unnatural stones.
Unnatural stones. Ulfgar reaches into his pack and says, all right, hold on a second. And he takes out a bottle of ink. And he takes his finger and he dabs it. And he, like, circles the stone with ink.
Okay.
And says, don't step here. It's bad. And he proceeds to keep looking for traps as he walks forward. I didn't mean to draw that, sorry. I was trying to walk forward.
Okay. I'm going to keep using your same perception check. You don't see any in that square. Or that one.
Okay. He says, stick to the right side. I haven't looked around on the left side. And now I see what she sees going down the hallway.
Yep.
What is that? Is that a window or a door?
It is actually a window. Sorry, Kellisto. So let me describe this a little bit more. So creepers and vines cling to the walls along the corridor, and at this end is an arched crystal window, 6 feet wide and 10 feet high. And whatever is on the other side of it is quite dark.
Who the heck builds these kind of places? This is ridiculous. Having one of these giant window panes
So
underground.
Tobias, when you step there, you need to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Why me?
He said not to step there.
I mean, you weren't looking. It's just. So you take 2 points of piercing damage and 14 points of poison damage. Don't step there. This is the one that Ulfgar marked, I think.
Watch where you're walking there.
I'm walking there. Okay, how much?
2 piercing and 14 poison.
16, okay.
Oof. Ulfgar tries to find the spot that he triggered the trap and tries marking it.
do a perception check or
Sure.
see if you can spot it.
Oh, okay, I'm not moving anywhere from this point onward.
Yeah, you can see.
All right. He says, "All right, don't step on that again."
That thing that you're stepping on right now. Don't step on it.
Do a little bit of the.
So this carving here is, now you're a bit closer, you can see that it is like a very kind of ornate carving of a devil's face, and his mouth is like wide open, you know, picture like the mummy, you know, with the super wide mouth, and it's unnaturally dark in his mouth. I'm now, especially now Tobias is up here, you should be able to see some depth inside there, you know. But it's like the light is just being eaten as soon as it enters that area.
Does it look like a mask?
It's a big stone devil face.
Okay.
But the face is sculpted from stone, and it does meld seamlessly with the walls around it.
Okay. All right. So, in darkness it hides. So, the other side of that crystal window, it looks pretty dark. Inside the mouth of that thing, it's pretty dark. And I see a sewer grate down under there. Pretty dark. Ulfgar inspects in front of him. Because he'd like to take
You should reach in there and see if what's in his mouth.
Actually, he'd like to
Could be treasure.
inspect both of these spaces. Because he wants to just kind of walk over here in front of her.
Okay. Using your, I'm just going to use your 20. Yeah, you don't see any pressure plates.
He gently steps over this way.
Yep, you're fine.
And he's got a 60-foot dark vision as well. Is there anything that he sees of note going down this way?
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I should have. Hey, this bit, hang on. Okay, yeah, you can see like a whole bunch of this. So this is like, this is open to, like, oh, sorry, this is like open to an area below.
Is that a fence?
Hang on.
Open to an area of what?
Below.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is like a balustrade, you know? So it's like a stair railing, you know, a balcony railing.
Right. Valia, can you light a torch? Please.
Okay. Yep, I'll get a torch out and light it. Walk around behind Ulfgar.
And he says, Tobias, you're going to lose the light on your arm. And he casts light on a copper piece. And tosses it out this way. To see if there's anything to really be seen there.
So it kind of like the light travels down the corridor as your copper piece spins through the air.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, all of this corridor, like all down here, is just kind of moss and, well, mostly moss, like a little bit of vine.
Mm-hmm.
Just fairly like it hasn't been disturbed in quite a long time. And the copper piece kind of spins through the air, and then gravity kind of takes it after it gets past these railings, and it just disappears into this kind of large opening below.
Right.
And then you wait a few seconds, and you hear tink, 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 as the copper piece hits what sounds like stone.
There's a bit of a pit down there. Careful of the baluster. And he lights up another copper piece. And he holds it in front of the mouth of the stone thing that he's in front of.
You cannot see.
Cannot see down there?
Cannot see it. Right. You're holding it in front of the mouth of this carving, right? No. Cannot see into the mouth.
That's curious. There seems to be some sort of perhaps magical darkness here. And he He proceeds to walk over this way, but checking along the way. He wants to inspect the sewer opening with a light as well.
Okay. So,
Let me do another
when
roll.
you checking, you mean like you're looking for traps? Or
Yeah.
make a perception check, please.
Ooh, nat 20.
Yeah, you're confident there aren't any traps.
Okay.
So looking at the grate, it's a rusted iron grate,
Mhm.
and when you look through the bars, you can see muddy water flowing slowly past.
Muddy water?
Hmm.
Okay. And if he holds up the coin, does he see... Can he see effectively through the glass window?
I think you can, yes. You can see that there is. Hang on. Scroll to that bit. It looks like a much taller room. Again, it's got lots of moss and creepers, and you think you can make out a stone sarcophagus resting on like a stepped dais in the middle of the floor.
Right.
A lot of the light is being reflected back at you, so
Fair enough.
it's about all you can make out.
So, Ulfgar takes the ink as best he can and kind of marks safe spots, safe tiles to walk on. That. This is now safe, provided people can see. Pretty sure we just came down that straight. He puts his battle axe away and he reaches into the mouth with his left hand.
Okie dokie then. Fear is the mind killer. So
Are there those who have tried?
alright, so
died.
you reach into the mouth. And the temperature, you don't feel anything different about it. It's not, particularly like cold or, there's no like liquid or anything like that. But you do feel sudden pain. And you are basically attacked within that darkness.
You happy now, Callisto?
Someone had to do it.
Mm-hmm. I figured you've taken your fair share this this session.
Okay. So I take it. What is your AC?
Hold on. I don't have my shield. So normally it is. Hold on. I gotta find out. Because I don't know if my AC had my shield on it or not. I'm gonna say it doesn't. So I think it's 19.
Okay. So then you're hit. For. Can I do? No, I can't do that. So you're hit for some physical damage, right? And then this like blast in your head, like feels like your brain is about to explode. Your mind is like inundated with this excruciating pain. So you take 10 physical damage and 17 psychic damage.
Jeez. Okay. It's 27. Ouch. It's gonna be So Ulfgar lets out a yelp at the very least.
And you hear this kind of guttural. Wait, what languages do you speak?
Giant, goblin, dwarven, common.
Okay, in your mind, while you're like, your mind is being just onset by all this pain, there is this guttural language like that speaks telepathically to you, but it's not one that you understand.
So it was just over in an instant?
Yeah, like a 6-second instant. Instant, even.
Okay. So then, yeah, he pulls his hand back out. That was a bad idea. Ulfgar says, "How'd you get that door, the last door open?" As he's like kind of holding his head. "There's something talking to my head."
I
That
hold up
hurt.
the medallion and say, "This just opened it."
Is it actually doing anything right now?
It's just hanging there.
He says, "Well, in darkness it hides, and there was some kind of voice I heard, but oh man, that hurts so much." He says, "Well, we could proceed on. And
Do you want me to stick the medallion in this mouth?
I don't want anything to go back in that mouth." That hurt. Though something talked to me in my head. And Ulfgar will try and say what he heard as best he can.
Does anybody speak Abyssal?
No.
Nope.
That was
No.
the one language this group fails at, I think. And everything seems to know Abyssal now. Only speak Abyssal.
You do understand languages?
Only if I cast a spell. And I think it would not like be retroactive, like I suddenly remember.
I tend to agree.
You can stick your hand back in.
Yeah, not feeling it. Not feeling it. So, there's a window, there's a muddy sewer grate, and there's a very large pit over here with, I'm gonna head towards the pit. And he checks along the way, hugging the right wall.
Okay, make a perception check.
Okay. Ta-da. Wincing in pain as he does it.
Yeah, you don't see any more pressure plates along that hallway.
Okay. He still does the same thing with the marks for now.
Okay.
Proceeds all the way over here.
I'll follow behind.
Okay, so let me reveal this to you then.
Yes, please. We can both see 60 feet in the dark. And it's a very dark room. Boom! Oh, the lights, they got turned on. Okay.
So let me describe what you're seeing first. So a grand chamber opens ahead, 50 feet across and plunging down into darkness below. Which actually you can see the floor below because 60 feet dark vision. A stone balcony winds around the walls to connect 4 archways. Other balcony levels are visible below. The corridors radiating off in all directions. To the north, a stone staircase descends to lower levels. A hunched figure glares up at you from the balcony below. Wearing a mask that is the replica of the devil face of the tomb entrance. Without saying a word, the figure steps out of sight.
Hey, Ulfgar, there's your mask.
Right. I guess we've got to don that mask or be seen, I guess. But, or is it in darkness it hides?
Oh, so many questions.
He tosses the coin down.
Okay, so like down to below?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Aiming for the center of the room to try and light it up down there a bit, I guess.
Okay, hang on.
Probably another coin down there already. But that one's not lit.
Oh, brother, this might take me a minute to find.
Oh
One
dear.
moment.
Oh, you've got to go to a different room.
I've got to go to a different level.
Different levels?
Different levels.
Do you think we would speculate that thing, person, whatever we saw, just tried stepping out of view, tried hiding, or do we think that they like went invisible or left our dimension or something along those lines?
I think the mask made him invisible.
Eh.
Dang, hang on. This is deep, man. It goes deep.
17 floors later.
Okay, here we go. Alright. That's that one. So you're tossing the coin down to below, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Aiming for about here-ish, like in the middle there.
okay. So
There.
there's so you're looking down there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, I'm just going to describe it to you because I'm not going to mess around with this map. But you see 4 cylindrical stone pedestals surrounding a shaft that is like it's a square shaft in the center of this kind of square room at the very bottom of the staircase. And as your coin kind of tumbles through the air going down, you can see this is a big spiral staircase that goes down 1, 2 levels, 3 levels, and on the bottom, well, you're on the first level, so on the 3rd level there's a stone staircase, right? Or a stone floor, sorry, with a shaft in the center of it that is about 5 feet wide. And surrounding this shaft are 4 pedestals, 4 round pedestals, and sitting on top of each of these pedestals is a large 4-armed gargoyle.
On each pedestal?
On each pedestal. And your coin just kind of it doesn't fall like right in the center, luckily, otherwise it would have just kept going down that shaft. It kind of tumbles slightly to the side and lands on the floor beside one of the gargoyles.
So am I right in something like that, following these blurry shapes that I was already seeing on the map?
Hang on. Let me go back to where you are. Sorry. Yes. Yeah, those are kind of the gargoyles way at the bottom.
Are the gargoyles currently moving?
No, they are not.
Okay. No. Upon tossing it, then Ulfgar turns back around to the rest of the people behind and the crossroads there and says, there's a figure down here that just turned invisible. Had a mask.
So
A mask.
that figure was like on one of the balconies below, right? Just in case that wasn't clear before.
Aye.
We should go find them. Get that mask. You wanted the mask.
Okay, I'm carefully heading to the railings.
Okay. Yep. No more poison darts.
Great. Splendid. Are you mad?
I think we all are to have come this far, but what's your point?
Yeah, even stone is bending, preventing passage. We need a recon.
Well, currently, I don't know that you can see that far, but there is... Oops, I just wrote something in the darkness there. Sorry, Kashcah, I don't know where... It's somewhere up here.
Oh.
I was trying to click a button.
Okay.
But there's an opening across the balcony here. There's... Can I see through here?
Yeah. Here, let me
There's a stairway down and multiple floors down below us with gargoyles upon pedestals and an open shaft in the center. And there's some kind of opening over here as well.
You can see a little bit of this as well. A little bit like that.
And so you
Just the angle. There you go.
you want to just jump into it?
No! What gave you that clue? You're a strange one sometimes, you know that. We could go down the stairs and pursue this character we saw. We could continue exploring some of the other, like, the other entryways that I see here. We've got multiple ways to go. There's even the glass window back here. Maybe that opens. Maybe we smash it and go through. Don't think I want to. But then we could go into the sewer. I'm not crazy on that one either.
Right.
Ulfgar just doesn't want to be here. just doesn't want to do any of these things. He's ready for his feet up by the fire, I think.
So are we gonna take the stairs?
Well, I don't know. We've got at least 4 different routes that are open. 2 routes that are closed. And a chompy mouth. Where's Aelia?
Yeah, she's kind of hanging out back here.
Aelia, just follow the marks I left. It's safe.
I say we just pick a direction and go.
Well, I'm curious to know if this way, he points that way, leads around to something behind this mask or this stone statue that just bit me.
Hey, baby!
So he comes up here and then does the floor start changing up, like it's less cobbled potential traps?
It's getting less like viney. You know,
Okay.
like the moss and the vine are reducing kind of the further you move away from the entrance.
Okay.
What you do notice is that the air in here is so still and almost like stifling. It's quite warm and it's, yeah, really just almost overpoweringly stuffy.
This would be reminiscent of the Dwarven city that we were at, where there was like...
It's actually kind of weirder than that. I mean, at least there was some movement in that. Like, it was warm, but it was, you know, there was some kind of air movement. Here, there's like no air movement at all. It's pretty weird.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, he starts just walking this direction here.
Okay.
Until he eventually gets up to there.
You're walking.
Yep. You're in a dungeon. No, you're in a forest. You're in a dungeon forest.
So you see.
Yeah, I'm just going to cover his back.
Okay.
Are you sure? There's 4 passages we could all take.
I mean, one for each of you, pretty much. Uh-oh.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, of course. Split the party, as always.
Well, I mean, if we get fireball, it's just gonna go right down the line. So you guys
Hey, we had a lightning bolt already, right?
just lock hands. It'll get one and just go right down the line.
All right, so I can see down here. There's. Hold on. Whoop. Can I see a bit further?
Sure. Like that. There you go.
Right. Okay. So it wasn't what I was anticipating. Right. and he walks. He proceeds walking 1 square at a time. I don't know if, he's gonna set off traps as he goes or whatnot. His intention is to walk to the end of the corridor, and as he walks 1 space at a time, till something of interest comes within sight.
Okay. So you're not checking anymore?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Right. Like that.
Do. You're all
This
moving
is
2
super
spaces.
fun. Thanks. That's great.
I just clicked on the wrong thing. Wow. Okay.
Oh, you see that it does have like a T. Like it opens.
Oh, crap. So remember how there were 4 ways to go before? It looks like there's more than that now.
So you can see, now you can see, right, hang on.
Hanging.
Alright, yeah. So you can see the whole thing now. So on the floor are all these shards and flakes of rusted metal. And in the alcove at the back, a rusted statue of a knight stands gripping a large iron shield.
And the iron shield is rusted too?
No.
Right. Right.
There is a significant amount of like rust on the floor, as you see, right?
Ulfgar stops in his tracks.
Uh-oh.
And he says, "There's danger here." And he says, "Kellisto, I think you should check it out."
Wow.
When he said there's danger here, I just kind of snickered and looked at him like, really?
He says, "You see all that rust there?"
I see something that looks like you should go look at it.
He says, "I'm not getting near that rusty stuff. I've seen these before in the mines. Or at least something like it, and it terrifies me. It's the bane of all dwarves. It could potentially,
A closed pub.
it could potentially be a rust monster."
Bum, bum, bum.
Rust monster.
I
Eat
back
all
against the
sorts
wall
of.
and I look at Tobias and I'm like, and I kind of gesture forward and like, Tobias hasn't, investigated yet. Let him go.
Right. Valia. He's looking like he could use a rest.
Do we have the source of light?
Currently, Valia has the torch, and that's why I was kind of calling for.
Yeah, I'm going to blow
I'll
mine.
Did you light one? Because I'll pull. I can see, but I'll pull a torch out and light it up.
Yeah, I blew mine.
Yeah, I'm still down here by the stairs.
Valia. Do you respond?
Okay. I just
No, I
go
don't hear
forward.
you.
Okay, make a strength check. Athletics check, please, Tobias.
Athletics.
You can feel a pull on you from this direction. It's like, hang on 1 second, actually, let me look at your character sheet for no reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, you feel like a pull on like your belt, basically, like where your sword and your dagger is sheathed. It's pulling, and like probably your pack as well if you're carrying a pack, like your whole, and these things are pulling your whole person forward, and you try to resist.
What kind of armor is he wearing?
What kind of? I don't think. What kind of armor are you wearing, Tobias? I don't think.
It was the adamantium scale mail.
Oh yeah, that would do it as well. I didn't see that on there. Okay, so yeah, everything metal on you is pulling towards this statue, and you try to resist it, but your feet slip out from under you, and you are pulled with such force. You're basically an Ulfgar. You see this, Kellisto as well. You see Tobias, like, he's trying to, like, it's like he's struggling against something, and then feet just slip out from under him, and his whole body hits the floor and slides rapidly forwards. So you, slide into the statue, basically. Slam into it. And you take, wait, hang on, 10, 2d6 damage. So you take 6 points of damage from slamming into it.
Okay.
Ulfgar casts a spell if he has the opportunity at this point.
I will give you a reaction.
He can't cast it in that time.
Okay. So your sword cries out to you, Tobias, and says, "You fool, no!" And then when you slam into the statue, it says, "Oh wait, no, never mind, I'm fine." However, your dagger, is not magical in any way, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a regular dagger. Okay, your dagger just disintegrates, and your armor as well begins to disintegrate very rapidly.
Oh no.
Make another strength check or athletics check. So you
Strength
can
or
scramble away
athletics?
from this thing. Yeah, the only thing that stopped your adamantine armor from disintegrating is the fact that it is adamantine as opposed to regular.
Let me know when I'm capable of casting this spell.
Yeah, go on.
I cast polymorph and turn him into a bear.
What?
So you feel while you're making this second athletics check, you feel a spell being cast upon you.
You could probably hear Ulfgar saying it.
Probably hear Ulfgar saying it. Do you resist it, or do you?
Yeah, knowing that, do I recognize that's Ulfgar voice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to be resistant.
Okay, suddenly you're a bear.
And Ulfgar, upon casting that, yells, "Kill that critter! Make sure it doesn't wreck your stuff! Get him!" You should be safe. Your gear should be safe now. Because he thinks it's still a rust monster coming after him.
Okay, does it make any difference?
You're a bear, right?
Adamantine armor?
Well, all your
gear
gear gets melded into it.
Yeah, all your gear becomes bear as well. You are bear. You and your gear are
Yeah.
bear. So you just kind of, and actually now that now you're a bear, it's no longer pulling on you as much. So You're just kind of standing there, and Ulfgar's yelling at you like,
Okay, take that opportunity and going to lurk in this corridor.
okay. Do you have?
It's
Wait,
just
do
lumbering.
bears have dark vision?
I don't know. Do
I
bears?
have stuff open. Let me...
Yeah, probably my
Our
torch
druid
is-
could tell us.
Is it
Yeah.
any kind of bear? Because
Just a
brown bear.
brown bear.
You are bear.
No, it does not have dark vision. It has smell.
Well, you were holding a torch, though, right?
Yeah, but the bear's not gonna hold the door.
Yeah, but
No, but
the
you're giving
torch
some
is
light
for-
in the room.
Yeah, but the torch was probably dropped a long way here
Mhm.
when I was dragged.
Oh, so you had the torch. Oh,
See, I think the torch is now bear.
okay, so the light would have
Because
gone
all
out.
your gear, right, becomes
Okay.
bear. So,
Okay.
including the torch you were holding.
Okay. So, shoot.
It smells damp down there.
Yeah.
Smells like rot and mold.
I'm looking over the stuff I've got right now.
I mean, I'm still holding a torch.
So, Ulfgar says, can I have one of your unlit torches?
I'll hand it to you.
And he'll cast light on it
You
and
can
toss
kind
it.
of vaguely see with your bare eyes. It's like a little bit of a corridor.
And he'll toss the now lit torch with a light spell over into the room about here.
Okay. Alright, so you see. Dead end.
And he's like, I still don't see that bloomin' rust monster, but I know it's in there. Do you see it? It like drew him in. Must be a big one. Get it, Tobias.
Get it.
Which, by the way, how many added hit points does he have to chew through at this point, being a brown bear? Kellisto.
Brown bears have 34 hit points.
Well, there you go. So you currently have 34 hit points, Tobias. And claw attacks.
And you see a dead end.
You see a dead end.
The bear is less healthy than I am.
What are you talking about? You were injured.
So I have now 44. Oh,
You have
no,
a totally different hit point pool of 34 hit points right now.
34.
Okay, over this side, you see. Ooh.
You walked off the map. You're gone. You're dead. Fell into the void.
Done. You see a fountain. You can actually hear it as well, like bubbling.
Ulfgar says, "Any sign of it? I don't hear you hitting anything." Pretty much.
There's bear rumbles from down the corridor.
Ulfgar goes, "Oh right, Kellisto, can you talk to him while he's like that?" I mean, I
Shut
can.
up!
I mean, obviously, I can't understand him.
Only if I turn into a bear, and I don't want to do that right now.
Oh, I thought you could talk to animals.
Oh yeah,
Talk to the animals.
I can cast that. Yeah,
It's
Callisto,
Valia.
Dr. Doolittle.
Well, wait a
Valia
minute.
can too.
Valia, are you there? Did you wander off down the hole?
I'm at the end of the corridor.
Oh,
What do you want?
I did speak with animals.
Okay.
Are you okay, Tobias?
Be quiet!
I throw up my hands and I look at Ulfgar, and he's like, "He told me to be quiet. You just made me wait the spell."
Well, how long does it last? Yeah, actually, how long does it last?
Just
For-
don't come here. Okay, I'm going in.
Okay. 10
minutes.
Right.
See, like this. Seems
Did-
to be a circular room.
Did he
just to
take the
drive
torch with him?
the DM nuts? No, and that's about like as far as you can see without the torch. Let me see, like a little bit like this.
Ulfgar's kind of peering around. He's looking really like a bit freaked out that there might be an iron monster, a rust monster in there.
Yeah. You see a lovely statue. It is a beautiful statue. It's covered in moss, but it is made of marble, and it is 3 maidens standing in the fountain holding pitchers, which is where the water is flowing out from. They've got these big jugs. They're like pouring the water.
How lovely.
Big jugs.
Ulfgar's like, that's weird. How come that shield's
say-
not rusted?
I shout again. Tobias, what's going on?
Okay, I'm going to head back in.
Oh,
Oh.
hi, Tobias. You're much bigger than I. Oh, you're. Ha. So, did you find a rust monster? Well, actually, I suppose I can. I could.
Yeah,
I could say these things. Do you understand me? I think you understand me.
I just translate to Tobias. What'd you find?
For now, a statue that's pulled me in, and fountain and statues.
I repeat that to Ulfgar.
Wait, the statue pulled you in? I thought there was a rust monster there. Is it behind the statue? And why didn't it eat the shield? Those things
Okay.
won't leave any scraps behind.
So, you might check it for yourself.
No.
Come on, Ulfgar.
No, I'll not go
Water's
near
lovely
that
and
thing.
warm.
So should we go a different direction then?
I'm not going that way unless somebody finds a rust monster and we put it down. But I don't understand. Because all that rust pile down there, they wouldn't leave a perfectly good shield like that. Unless it's... maybe it's a magic shield. I don't know if they eat through magic shields. Well, Tobias, do you want to stay as a bear for a bit?
Tobias, you want to stay as a bear?
Yeah, I could keep it the other way.
He said he's okay with it.
All right. Just scratch the ground if you want to get you get transported back. I don't even know if I can turn it off. I'll have to look up the spell.
So, different direction?
Yeah. Let's backtrack, shall we? Back down the
Come on,
hall.
Tobias, follow us.
Unless you want to see if you can find that rust monster, probably hiding in a hole behind the statue there. I'm not going in that room.
Yeah, we shall see.
Well, we can go down, or we can go around. What do you think?
Just go around.
All right. So Ulfgar
We're just gonna encounter something bad in like each corridor, right?
Aye. He's got his weapons out, and he's stopped casting light on the torch, which, by the way, before leaving, he would have stopped casting light on the torch, used Mage Hand to bring it back to him, and given it back to Kellisto. Then proceeded with light on Valia's javelin, like usual, so that she has a light source.
Okay.
And then we'd proceed up down here and see what we can see.
Alright, so we want to have a look down this corridor. Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
Okay. So...
Tobias, you coming along? Come on, you woolly beastie.
Okay, so down this corridor you see a giant stone skull crusted with moss juts out from the end of the passageway. Flames flicker in each of its eye sockets, and a view into the chamber beyond can be seen through its jaws.
Wait, so it's like
Come on,
got an open mouth and you can see through into the next area?
Yep.
Oh, hell no.
I love how Ulfgar is just skeptical as fuck about everything.
I don't like this place. He proceeds on this way.
So skeptical, Ulfgar.
And up to this area.
I'm gonna have a look up here. Okay.
What am I looking at?
Hang on. Alright, so here we have carved birds soar across the walls of this corridor. Blocking the passage near its northern end is a large adamantine propeller with 5 sharp blades. Food. Which is obviously this thing.
Right.
This place was designed by madmen.
I suspect Czech engineer.
So are they moving? The blades.
I don't think they are just yet.
Yet?
Right. I mean, maybe. They're not moving. Not at this time.
Right.
But they do look super sharp.
Mm.
Sharp, even.
Maybe we can get the rust monster to eat these.
Drag the statue over here.
So do they take up, like, is there any space above or below? I mean, other than, like, the minimum amount of space?
And there is, like, I mean, they're not, like, super snug to the walls. There is a small gap. Maybe, like, 1.5 foot, something like that.
I look at
2 feet.
Ulfgar and say, I'd rather go through the mouth.
Aye. Right. Though something my grandfather told me it comes to mind. The path of the penitent man.
Penitent man shall pass.
Penitent. I don't remember quite. All right. So, can I see through the door? The jaws.
You can see through the jaws. Here, let me reveal a little bit behind this. I mean, how much fun does that look?
They get much closer.
Are you
Not
like...
sticking my head through.
Hey, you can kind of see like this.
I can't see very deep.
So
You're like, dang, you and your 60 feet.
seriously.
Here, I will hold up my...
There you go.
Okay.
Hey, something glowy.
Is there something glowy? We see a sarcophagus, and this is obscured by it.
So there is a top. So this is back. Oh, I don't have the selector selected. Okay, so what we see is a sarcophagus, right, standing in the center of the chamber. And then behind that is a marble pedestal with an ornate crystal box. And it does seem to be glowing a little bit.
You think that's a soulmonger? He's like looking, and he looks up at the mouth, and he's like, I really don't want to go in this thing. All right, well. And he just like,
I mean, it looks like you're fit.
yeah. He then like hops quickly through the door with his weapons out and everything.
Okay, Callisto, you see that, you know how the eyes had flames in them?
Mm-hmm.
One of them goes out.
Oh crap.
Ulfgar, one of the flames went out.
What do I see upon going in though?
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, like, it's all about Ulfgar. So you see, actually, sorry, I revealed a little bit more than I should have there. Showing you all the tunnely bits. So you see this, and this. Let me hide this again.
And you say that, and he says, have the jaws started closing? And he turns around quick to see if the jaws have closed or anything like that.
Nope.
And he then does kind of a walk very slowly around the room.
Oh, I see, I missed a bunch of... Hang on. So he's doing a walk around the room.
Yep.
Hang on, let me clean this up a little bit.
And he's actually going to
There we go.
say, Valia, I'm going to remove your light. And he casts light on Bob. So he can see clearly instead of like the black and white vision.
Okay. Alright, so you see, as you get a bit closer to the ornate box back here. Oh, well, let me describe it a little bit more. This is definitely worth a description. Skulls crusted with dried mud glower from within these niches, right? All these little niches, you can see kind of skulls within there, and they're all kind of crusted with dried mud. So the stone sarcophagus stands in the center of the chamber, and its lid is adorned with a coiled serpent. It's carved in the stone. So behind the sarcophagus is the marble pedestal, ornate crystal box, which holds a small floating skull. And you also see a skeleton is kind of back here in this corner. Like, in amongst the skulls, you see that one of them is actually a full-blown skeleton.
Is it standing of its own volition, or like...
It is not. It's seated. It's kind of slumped against the niche that it's in.
Right.
And it looks weird, actually. Its head looks like a strange shape. Like, not the kind of shape that you expect. You know, it's not like, it's like got this weird triangle shape to it.
He gets closer to it so that he can investigate better.
It's got like this metal, like, it's almost like it's wearing a helm, but it's like built into its head. And it's this weird, like, triangular metal, like, structure that's actually kind of built into the skull of it. And as you get closer, it picks its head up and looks directly at you. And that's where we'll end.
Yeah. 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 Why did I know that was gonna? Yeah, it's like, oh, it's about time that we're probably gonna be ending soon, which means bad thing. Something bad.
Something
Okay. So we've got Indiana Jones Crystal Skull here. Got Indiana Jones' dad telling us the penitent man can pass up above. And
So you got floating skull in this box, yeah, and then Skelly in the corner.
Yeah. And me fresh out of any bludgeoning weapons for Skellies. Triangular shaped headed Skellies.
Yeah, there's metal structure on top of his head. There's a triangle shape.
Crud. He's a magic Skelly or something. I don't know. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for coming out for another episode of Tomb of Annihilation, 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Tune in next time, most likely next Sunday, if not the following. Where?
You know what? Actually, I would like to add one more detail.
Yes.
Because you did say you were circling the room, right?
I was starting to, yes.
Okay, where did you start and where did you finish?
I was actually, allow me to illustrate here.
Sorry, guys. One sec, because this is kind of...
And then when I got to about here, you said I saw a skeleton, so then I went back here.
Okay, all right. We will leave it at that.
Okay. Nothing was revealed. Short of a skeleton, it's about to chop it
with a
out,
weird metal triangle on his head.
Yeah. So tune in next time. We'll see what happens if we can survive this crazy, super trapped catacomb of dungeon.
It's a dungeon.
Yeah, it's a dungeon. Yep. Filled with diplomats and jungle peoples and sorcerers extraordinaire. Anyway,
we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
Says the bear.
Yes. So, yeah.
Oh man, that adamantine armor was close.
Well, it's a good thing both of us know mending. Bye dagger. All right. Well, anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for coming out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.